In what respect?
Well, it's when you've I think last time you spoke about the certain letters matching up with things on the Fidelity website.
Yeah.
To me, it just seems that they're just tickers for different companies.
Yeah. It's a ticker. It's a ticker for a share document, and that share document belongs to a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're getting that share, which is being allotted to that company. You can go and buy them, or when you do, as I said, when you do your confirmation statement and your filing, you can allot your own shares.
So how does that link up to our birth, like the number on our birth certificate then?
The number on your birth certificate?
Yeah, because I thought there was, I don't know if it was when that Ian was on there before, it was, and someone told me before, you're linking it up with the letters and numbers on your birth certificate or your certificate of entry of birth.
Right, so, okay. Let's understand the share. Let's look at the share first and understand the share. Did you read what I put up earlier?
Yeah, I've been reading some bits that you've been pointing out, yeah.
And you read about that part of what the share was and who's it allotted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you read up on that? Did you understand it?
Hold on. Let me look at it again.
Can I just say, each birth certificate is a new bond in its own right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyone now, for instance, that wants to access my trust, they would just ask for a birth certificate that will be given a unique reference number. That's a new bond. They will sell that bond. Blah 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 blah. You know. So I get what we're saying. It's like, how do the shares? They don't correlate to each new bond, but they must be traced back to the birth certificate, the original entry, and it's that I understand what's being said is how does that relate? How does each new bond relate back to that? Is that the question?
The thing about it, when you order, okay, there's only two ways you can get shares, either allotted or buy them.
Yeah.
So if you buy a share, you're buying them. You're buying the share itself. If you're getting the share allotted to you, then you're getting that allotted into the you're not. It's okay. Where did I? Sorry, 1 second. Let me just. Where's that share? Where did I put it? It's in the. That folder, isn't it? Where is it? Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Muslim.
My question is, who is the business?
The legal entity.
But who's the legal entity? What business and who's the legal entity they're talking about?
Copyrighted government surname.
And who is that? Because if we read it, what is an allotment? The term allotment refers to the systematic distribution or assignment of resources in a business to various entities over time. So who's the business? Who's the business?
Resource again.
Because there's a systematic distribution. Now, all the mining companies are systematically distributing or assigning resources in a business. Who's the business?
The limited company.
Which one?
Ours as well.
No.
No.
England.
Sorry?
England, the church, England. England is the limited company because that has all the resources thrown into it. Because remember, England looks after the money, the finance. Vatican looks after the religion. America looks after the war. Now, the various entities over time are us. We're the various entities. Now, we're either looked at as express companies or implied companies. If you're looked at as express companies, then you get your share allotted to you. Remember, the company is England, Companies House. We go and get our limited company from Companies House. All the shares are allotted into Companies House. All the resources. So all the resources have to be distributed. If you're not standing up and collecting your 1% claim, what God allotted you, basically, you're not getting it. It's going to the limited company, United Kingdom Limited, rather than your limited company.
Yeah.
You get it?
So you're saying that the Companies House is a limited company as well, so we're getting a part of that.
The thing, yes, England is the Queen's company, England Limited. And that's in England and Wales. That's why we go into England and Wales to Companies House, because it's the Queen's company set up as England Limited. So we go and get our company like United Kingdom Limited did. United Kingdom Limited had to go to Companies House to get their company set up, remember? But
Yeah.
if they've got you under their rule and they're claiming your allotment, then you're only getting your little piece, what they're giving you, your benefits and privileges is what they're giving you, and they're cutting you out the rest. When you stand up as a limited company, England has to allot the resource to the various entities. You're one of the entities as a limited company, and you're one of the entities as an implied company. So it's up to you which one you're going to stand as. Allotment generally means the distribution of equity, particularly shares granted to to participate in underwritten writing firm during initial public offering. The initial public offering is that you're offering you your share, but you are not standing up and claiming. Instead of you going buying a certified copy of an entry birth certificate, which is also another share with the allotted number on it, you're getting it when you do your confirmation statement at Companies House. So all the numbers basically on your birth certificate, these are the shares what's allotted. You can go and buy shares. You can buy thousands and hundreds of thousands of shares if you wanted to. And distribute them. That's the thing. But the thing about it, when you're looking at it from a standpoint, if you don't know what we're doing and you're still on the other side of the fence, you see it from a business eye. You've got to see it from the creditor's eye. You are the creditor, remember. Your allotment of share, which is systematically distribution or assignment of resources in a business, the business to various entities over time. We've got to look at these things and the way they're doing things and doing. The thing what got me is when I done my company in 2015, at 11 o'clock at night, I looked on the fidelity.com and it was 3,145,000 shares. And then I went onto Companies House and bought my limited company. And then an hour later, I went back onto fidelity.com and the volume for that same number had gone down to 0. An hour after I bought the company.
What number are we talking about, please, Carl?
This is the number on top of the certified copy of an entry, top right-hand side. Because I've got a 17-box document.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
So on the top right hand side of the document, you'll have letters and number, 6-digit number and some letters. That number will correspond with the ticker number. And then the ticker number, when you open that whole page, there's a little section down at the bottom on the left-hand side at the bottom, and it tells you the company, what the initials stand for. Mine was BAS, but the initials stand for Basic Energy Services. Now, when you go and look up Basic Energy Services on Google, it's a mining company in Canada. So that document is attached to that mining company in Canada. It's one of their share documents. And I'm just claiming a piece of that share, the land, the natural resource, to go and do what I want with that share document. But we don't know what we're doing yet, because we don't understand the shares and all that stuff. This is what I'm starting to look at. Now, this is why I don't like to talk too fast and talk too much about things, because I haven't looked into it as much myself on my pathway of what I'm doing. Remember, I gave up legal 10 years ago. You guys are still in legal. So I'm seeing things completely different to you guys. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way or arrogant way. You know, I mean, a lot of people I talk to, they're still in legal and they didn't realize, say, for example, an accountant, you see, or whatever, you go and see an accountant to do all the work for you. And I don't mean to ruin any accountant's business, but you get an accountant to go and do all your paperwork for you, for a dormant company, for example, or whatever. And you can go and do it yourself. It takes you 5 minutes to do. Do you see what I'm talking about? So it's there to make business, and it's keeping the legal entity, because the legal entity is a child, and the legal entity can't do it for themselves, so they need an accountant or an adult, someone like that, to do it for them. But when you come back and you take the ownership and you take yourself out of the incumbency, there ain't nobody there to do that. They can only do it the way they do it. If you're going to enter into their realm and you're going to use them to do it, you have to abide by what they're doing, because they're in that realm. You're not in that realm. You choose to go in there. You can do it all yourself, but you don't, because you don't know about it. That's what we're doing now. We're learning about it so we can do it ourselves and be that. So you see?
Yeah. So if you've got a recently, like, older one last November, because I only had the little square box certificate of birth, but it was like the end tear off. But I ordered a new one, like the landscape version. Was it the certified copy of an entry of birth? So then I've got another number now, haven't I? Yeah. Yeah. You'll have. So is that the one I look up, or
every document you get will have a different number, as the gentleman just said.
That's
you
right.
have every document will have a different number, because it's just different shared. Remember, when you order a certified copy of an entry, yeah, the piece of paper you're actually ordering is a instrument, statutory instrument. Now, your birth particulars are printed onto that statutory instrument to make it a security, because it's then backed by your birth particulars, which Jessica showed us the birth particulars form, which is the same as the birth certificate. That document is printed onto the Crown document, watermark document, and then sent to you. That's just a shared document they're sending you and printing your birth particulars on the document.
Yeah, it's got watermarks in it, yeah.
There you go. Your name isn't printed on that document waiting for you to come and order it. No. When you order one, they take the birth particulars form 1. 1 second. Where is it?
Is it the BNF one?
No. This is the form 1. Sorry, I'm going to show you now. So remember, that's everybody who's got a 17-box birth certificate, that's your birth certificate. And if you look at the top, it says Form 1, Particulars of Birth. Now, everything on that document is exactly the same as your birth certificate. Thank you, Jessica, for finding this form and the others what come after it. The thing about it is that how they boxed off the two sides. Then they take this and superimpose it onto one of their security instruments, which we see and class as a certified copy of an entry. That is your certified copy of an entry right there. But it's not printed on a security instrument. Because this is your birth particulars, the particulars of birth, it identifies whose estate they can go in to take out of. They've got it on a promissory note by the stamped GRO watermark. And that's Form 1. That's a legal document you are getting. You're not getting a birth certificate. You're getting a legal form printed on a security instrument. That's what you're getting when you order a birth certificate. When you go sorry, go on.
Sorry, and they don't give that to us. So you've spoken about this before. You've spoken about it being a security instrument with the birth particulars superimposed on. So what you're now showing us, because I recognise that, it's just not boxed. They box that up and superimpose it onto an instrument that they can use, and it's not on it. It's its own sheet, and that's the sheet right there, right?
Perfect. And they print that on the document. So the document that you're getting has already the number on the top, waiting for your details to be printed on it. That's why you get a different number, because every time you order one, they're just taking one of the other documents off the top of the pile and then taking this document, your document, the Form 1, and they're printing your information on that document and giving you. That's why it's already got its number at the top. If you go to the post office and you ordered a reel of signed for stickers, every one of them stickers would be numbered in order. But every time you sent a letter, you would tear one off and stick one for a different letter. Now, if everybody was sent a letter, everybody would have a different number. It's exactly the same thing. 1,000 people can order birth certificates. Now, they're just going to keep taking it off the top of different piles and saying, all right, I'm going to give you that one. 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 And each one of them will have their own code number at the beginning of it, like the post office stamp would, GB. And then a number, and then another letter, and then a number. They use their codes already. Our codes isn't on this document. Our code is on the birth notification form, which is the case number, which is the form what comes much before this.
Because we get to see that.
This is the form. You see down here where it says in box 15, date of registration.
Yeah.
This is the form they fill out, and the date your mother gives this form over to them, that's the date what goes in box 15. You see it, box 15 there. This is the date your mum registered this form. That's date of registration in box 15 there.
So that would be the day that you were born, right?
No, the day you was born will be in box 1 at the top. Date and place of birth. That's the date of birth.
So is the registration, is that the registration of the legal name? Is that when you're giving your Christ name, or is that a different date?
Right, that's right. So the date, so let's start at the top. So the date of birth, right, was the day you was born. I'm going to give you in my scenario. If this was my form, up here on number 1, my date would be June 1970. Then my mum would have filled out this form, and then the day she gave it to them would have been the date of registration. It would have been in August 1970. So 2 months later, she would have filled out this form and given it to the birth registrar. It took 2 months because I was a cesarean birth, and they cut my mum from throat to belly button to get me out, and I was premature for 2 months. I was 2 months born early. They cut me out early. So it took her 2 months to kind of like recover. By the time August got around, she gave her my Christian name, but it went on this form. Now, this is just a legal form. This is why I keep telling to everybody, if you're using this date of birth of this form, you're using a legal date of birth. You're using a dead entity legal date of birth. Now, 1 second. Where did I put it? I'm sure I had it earlier. But everybody's seen, you've all seen the certificate of name given in baptism.
Yes.
We've all seen that. So that's what I'm saying. The certificate of name given in baptism gives you your baptism date of birth. That's when your Christian name was baptized. And the certificate of name given in baptism, that's the document, that is the date of birth. Now,
Literally 10 years younger. That's what it does.
sorry?
Now, I was saying to someone the other day, okay, so the certificate of baptism, I actually went back to the church yesterday.
Yep.
Because they said, right, this is how certificate of baptism, name given in baptism went for me. I was baptized 10 years after I was born.
This is
So
it.
I was 77, and then in 87, I was baptized. Now, I ordered that from the church because I still know it, the one I was baptized in. I wasn't particularly religious. I think I'm more so now. But I went back to them. They ordered very quickly £11. I ordered for 2, and they sent them out. But they were like this really silly little pamphlet thing with all these doves on. I thought, this isn't a certificate.
Yeah.
So I wrote back to them and I said, look, you sent me this thing and it's saying that, oh, this is to certify that. I said, but this isn't the certificate. And they said, okay, well, we hold all that here. So they said, we'll send those out. You've already paid, don't worry. A few weeks later, they sent me these certificates, which they'd filled out. They weren't copies of an old certificate. They are 2 certificates from a book that they have, which have now been signed by that vicar, whatever you call. Sorry, I'm not particularly religious, as I say. But she signed them. Now, I went back there yesterday because I happened to be in the neighbourhood.
Mhm.
And I went to her and I wasn't sure. I'd spoken to Jessica and a few other people, but and I heard in the groups about, needing things stamped and whatnot. So I went and knocked on the vicarage door and I said, excuse me, do you have a stamp? You sorted out my certificates of baptism. Thank you ever so much. Blah, blah, blah. And she said, we don't have a stamp, but I've signed them. So that should be good enough. I said, no worries. I just wanted to check. And that was that. And I had a little look around the church and stuff. So is it right in thinking that if you've got your certificate of name given in baptism and it's been signed by the person that is currently at the church,
Is this the,
then
is this the
good
document you got?
is it? Sorry?
Is this the one you got? I'll just put it up on the screen.
I tell you what, I'm going to get it out because I've got it right here.
This is the one you should be getting because this is the one was sent to the Vatican.
Right. I think mine looks more, it's more of a horizontal layout, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's like it's come out of a book that's quite long as opposed to square.
Like landscape.
Yeah, very, 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 like,
Yeah.
like
It's,
okay.
it's the same. It's the same as my one. We've all got.
Yeah,
that.
so it's like two postcards stuck on the, that it's
That's
long.
right. That's right.
And it says baptism certificate, top right.
It looks like a compliment slip.
It's not,
The same shape as a compliment slip.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
there
That
you
is
go.
how it does.
It's like if you had 2 postcards that were slightly longer than a postcard normally is, and then
Yeah.
stuck them on end to end. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
right.
It was just long,
Yeah.
and it's got it's signed by the vicar, 4th of the 5th, 22.
Yeah.
It's got my name that was given in baptism, in lowercase. Lowercase. It's got my now hyphenated surname as a lowercase uppercase. It's all completely wrong, basically, but
Yeah.
it's how it was back then.
This
But-
is it. Now you understand the conversation what I had with the LMA, the one on YouTube. I put it up on YouTube. That's the same thing. It's the same document you've got, I've got, but what they did, they wrote all and every of my details in capitals. So I went back down there and I got them to change it, and that's what the conversation was on YouTube.
Okay.
But this is the document. What? Okay, so
So should I remember that conversation you had with them. You had to actually physically go down there. Now, is that something that I should be looking? Because my name, I know you say it daisy chains back.
Yeah.
So I know that when you do an enrolled deed poll correctly, which I sent mine off this week, that one there will daisy chain back through this baptism certificate and to my certified copy of an entry. Will they all sort of tie into the name? Yeah.
everything will tie together. Because remember, you're just standing up as the adult taking responsibility for the child who you were.
Yes. Yes.
So everything won't change.
My thought process on this was originally I was chasing the baptism certificate, and then obviously as I progressed through it, I started to understand that actually you'd been down the wormhole, and it was a bit of a dead end scenario.
You see?
And actually the deed poll transcended that, so why are we going to bother with that? But then when I heard you talking about the parallels between the limited company and the trust, and the fact that these things here are legal instruments, is that correct? This can be used as
So, yeah. So this is
part of my company, a parallel.
yeah. I mean, like the thing about it. Remember, all
Can it be
legal.
used? Is what I'm essentially. Don't need it, but
You don't essentially need the stuff. That's the thing. The most important thing that we do is claim the name, because nobody's claimed it. And you're just using it on behalf. Remember, you're the user because your mum gave it to the system. So you're using it from the system. You haven't claimed it yet. You're just using it. So you're using it for the benefits and the privileges of that, using that name, because your mum gave it to them. Your mum didn't give it to you. So now you're standing up and saying, you know what? You don't need to I'm competent enough to take care of my own affairs now. I'll do this myself, thank you. I don't need you. And that's why they take you out of the incumbency and you're not a custodian of theirs anymore. You're a custodian under your own limited company now. So your limited company.
And as part of that, as being an adult, you know, what you're doing is you're correcting your status.
There you go.
And with the birth, and you know, as I'm looking at this baptism certificate now, I'm thinking what you did there was you went. I can see it. They've just put Jones in capital letters, and I'm like, you had to discuss it with her, and she said, "Oh, that's the way I have to do it." And then he said, "Well, basically, can you get your boss, please? Because I want to talk to him about grammar."
Totally.
And he understood and corrected it.
There you go. The thing about you start stepping up the chain.
You're just correcting its stats.
You start taking it up the chain, Alex, and basically, and you start pointing out, okay, why are you writing this name as an acronym? First and foremost.
Yeah.
You get that straight in there. You say, hold up, wait a minute. You got all these people working under you, and they don't even know what an acronym is. Come on, man. And you point that into the manager's face, and you make him small. You make him the illiterate one. And you say, come on, young man. Even though he's older than you, you can say, come on, young man, stop your foolish games. You need to change this document immediately, or I'm going to have you up in the royal courts. I'm taking you personally, because you are the man standing in the position allowing it to happen. So where's your truth?
You just bumped into a child of the Most High. You better watch out.
You see?
Yeah, no. I got it.
You let them know that they are the ones that is, hold up, wait a minute, what are you doing? You are doing wrong on this earth. I didn't come here to stand under no wrong. I'm going to say what I need to say, and if I see something that's wrong, I'm going to let you know, and you need to change it. Even though this certificate of name given in baptism on the screen, even though it's a lawful document, it's still written legally. So it can be used in the legal. Now there's two forms on that one form there at the top. You got the top part, and then at the bottom of the top part, you got the signature of the officiating minister. This is the officiating minister. This is the church. Then you got a dark line and it says certificate of entry of baptismal name. Now, listen to this, certificate of entry of baptismal name. It says there. Now, on your certified copy of an entry, why isn't it finished off like this? Certificate of entry of baptismal name. Your certificate of entry, what's the end of it? Do you see? What's the end of your birth certificate? It's a certified.
We know that's entered into the United Kingdom, isn't it?
But we can only assume that, because on this document right here in front of us, it states what it is. It's a certificate of entry of baptismal name.
See, mine says here, it says, it's got baptism administered at the parish. It says baptism certificate, and it says certified to be a true copy of an entry in the register of said parish by me.
Thank you.
So is this
it would be, so your name at the top here where it's been circled in red, that's where the church and the vicar would fill out everything. Yeah Then he signs it at the bottom right hand corner, just under the circle there, officiating minister. Then he sends this document over to the birth registrar. And underneath that black line, you see underneath it, the superintendent registrar signs this and dates this document as well. So now they've got two witnesses on this one document, and that gets sent to the Vatican with two witnesses on it. You've got the superintendent registrar of the Navy signing it, and then you've got the church signing it. The officiating of the minister of the church and the superintendent registrar of the Navy.
Oh, I've just seen this. Yeah, mine is laid out totally different to yours, but I noticed at the end here it's got officiating minister.
Do you see?
NL, whatever, and then down the bottom you've got the the lady that's running the parish there.
This is it. Now, the thing about it, when you look on this document, on the reverse side of it, even though it's printed, this is on the reverse side. Now, when we look down at the bottom there, it says the registrar or superintendent registrar will enter the new name in the space provided for it in the child's birth entry. The name or names inserted entirely supersede any name of the child already appearing in the entry. So if this document was your baptism document, and in my scenario, as I discussed earlier, my scenario, I got baptized in August 1972. So in 1972, the date at the bottom, that the name or names inserted entirely supersedes any name of the child already appearing in the entry. So if my name was written here in all uppercase and lowercase and put down as that date because my Christian name was given to me because it's called the certificate of name given in baptism, my name was given to me. You also got a document which is the name not given in baptism. So basically, it's this document was date and stamped and sent over, whether you was christened or baptized or not. You were still given a Christian name. Your Christian name was born with this document, not with the other one. The other one was just your birth particulars legal form. This is the lawful form, what comes from the church.
Can I ask, what is the difference? Because I'm looking at what you've got here, right? And I've got my thing right in front of me, as I was just saying. Mm-hmm. Is that what you've got there is very, you had a certified copy of an entry with the birth certificate. You've got very similar. Is that what we're looking at the baptism here, right? Mm-hmm. Is it a certified copy of name given in baptism? Is that what it says? Sorry, I can't do that.
This is the certificate of name given in baptism.
Sorry, certificate of name. So that's a certificate of name given in baptism, whereas what I have here is a baptism certificate.
Yes.
Same difference?
No, it's the same as my one I've got. I've got the same as one as you. What I'm saying to you, the one what's on the screen is the one what all of us should have. But we're not going to get it because this one is sent to the Vatican.
Oh, this was where your dead end ended up, was it?
Yes, this is sent to the Vatican. You're not going to get this document. The next best thing is the one what they're giving us, what you've got now in your hand, and what I've got.
Brilliant. Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, I went as far as
the only thing is you look at your document.
Yeah.
And everything is in boxes.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. So with this document here, nothing's in boxes. It's on one entire skin.
So it makes it lawful, not legal.
There you go. So this
no. Cole, it's all there's all this stuff in all caps. There's all these acronyms on the page. So
I know. But I just said that. The thing about it, this is a lawful document that can be seen in legal. That's the thing. Our limited company is a lawful document that can perform in legal. This is the lawful document that can perform in legal. That's all it is.
That's a big document. That's why they're not giving it us.
This is what I'm talking about. Because this is a lawful document.
Yeah,
it goes back to your trust.
You can't commingle public and private. So how can one document in the lawful include legal? It can't.
They do it with our language. They slip a bit of legalese into it alongside grammar, don't they?
Legalese is legalese in the legal world, but there's no lawful.
Right.
You can't commingle the two.
No, which I totally agree with. I'm not arguing against you. I'm on your side. But what I'm saying to you, hear me out first. But what I'm saying to you is leave them to do what they're doing. That's their system. You're not in their system no more.
Yeah.
You've taken yourself out of the incumbency of their office. So all the documentation doesn't apply to you no more.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So this is all I'm trying to say is that these are the main documents, and with the documents we've got now, like the baptism certificate, as Alex was just saying, and the same one as mine, is that the thing about it, they're still boxing off everything. Yeah. So we just got to step back and say, okay, let them play their game. Now, let me go over here and focus on what I'm doing with my limited company now. And start taking charge of that. That's the main thing. We're looking morely at the limited company rather than the legal procedures of what the name is happening. Because remember, the legal is only for companies, whether it's implied, whether it's expressed. It's only for a company. So if you're doing legal, your company will be trading. If your company's not trading, there's no point talking about legal. Because legal is only for corporations. That's why your name's written in capital letters as a child, because it's an implied company. Legal is only for companies. Law is for men and women.
I just think people don't have to overthink it. I think what Carl's showing us is like, quite simply, that there are the ways of getting out of the legal into the lawful by getting your limited company, right? And then you're doing your trademark of your name, upper and lowercase, which covers all that off. And then, you know, that takes a little while. And then, you know, like with me, I wasn't baptized or christened, so I'm not even going for it. But, you know, at the end of the day, I've done the enrolled depot to do that. And so, you know, I don't understand why people are just chasing ghosts in a way. When Carl's giving you the 3 ways to do it, just do those 3 ways and don't overthink it.
The thing about
and then we'll move forward. Is that right, Carl?
Yeah, totally, Simon. Thank you. What I want to add to what you were saying, though, as well, all I'm doing is basically, I'm saying, look, there was a child there. Now, somebody has to look after the child. It's either up to me in my responsibility to look after the child, or I let the government look after the child for me. Which one do I choose? Do I choose me to look after the child, or do I get the government to look after the child? That's all I did, and I chose me. That's it. So I stood up as the adult and the parent. Now I'm the shareholder. The shareholder is the parent. I own all shares of the company. So no one can do anything without my say, like all of you now. No one can do anything without your say, because you have to give them permission to access allotted shares, or you have to transfer it or issue the shares to whoever. And you can order as many shares as you want. This is the next stage I'm at, looking at the company and issuing shares. And again, as I said, a couple of the guys were around earlier on, and we looked at the bits and pieces of the company, or all the forms and stuff. We didn't get right into it, but we just over-skimmed it and said, look, these are the documents we should be looking at, because these are the lawful documents that can perform in legal, but they all go through the limited company. And the limited company, as I said, is a lawful entity that can perform in legal. So anything's in there, you see, it's like you going into a building. You're standing outside the building on the pavement. You're in law. As soon as you walk into that building, you've just gone into legal. That's your limited company you just walked into. When you leave back out that door, you just step back onto the pavement and you're back in law again. You see, that's the thing. This is what we've got to see. Every time we want to go in to the legal, think about, I'm going into my company to actually perform something. But you don't want to go in your company to perform anything because you don't want to be in legal. You don't need to be in legal. They know that. They're the ones who created the mistake, and they want to pull you and drag you into hell with them. You're just saying, nah, it's all right, I'll skip that. We read them, most of us, or some of us have read The Law Merchant. Even in The Law Merchant, it says that, yes, you had the general common law man and woman. They didn't want to take part in the Abbott's market, the Lex Mercatoria. They said, no, it's all right, we'll leave that. If we do, we'll come and see you, but we don't want to do anything for now. For now, we'll wait for the king to come back and we'll trade in the king's market. That's it. That's all we're doing. They're just trying to drag us in, and they're using the name what our mother gave to them to look after for us. Because the word custody, there's 2 definitions of the word custody: imprisonment or guardian. They're keeping me as a prisoner. They should be my guardian. Now I turn up as an adult, they have to be my guardian to guide me to where I need to do what I need to get. It's all there in front of us. We've just got to, as we're doing now, we're all looking at it. And I'm glad I can speak to you all and we can all conversate like this, because it allows you to think, which helps me think when you're talking back to me as well. But you take it out there and do with what as you want. But try and stay away from the legal. Remember, if you're ever going to do legal, the company's performing. And you don't want your company performing. If you're doing legal, you're just acting as the implied company child, what they want you to. Step away from it. If they want to talk to you, they would write to you correctly. As I said, Companies House and HMRC addresses you correctly. They write to your limited company and they write to the director. So if they can If they can put that as a precedence, then everybody should follow suit. If they don't, then you can send it back and say, well, hold up a minute, you ain't following what Companies House is doing. You ain't following what HMRC is doing. If they can do it, you can do it. So if you're not doing it, it means you're pulling a fast one on me. Full stop.
Oh, can I just
Sorry.
ask a question? No. I've noticed the Queen, Archbishop of Canterbury, you know, all of them, that I'm a sovereign being. They didn't respond within 28 days, so now I sent back to them another notice saying, thank you very much for your acquiescence. It's now on the record that I am a sovereign, living, flesh and blood being, and I don't, you know, acquiesce to statutes, blah, blah, blah. You know, I have two limited companies within the two various names. I've trademarked my name as well. And they're writing to me in upper and lower case, and then that's just a front letter, and then behind that there's all caps names. You know, there's all this shit going on.
Totally.
They're coming after me because I home educate my girls. They're now saying we're going to enforce that they go back to school. You know, I'm noticed 3 regional chief of police that I have the right to travel.
You need to amend
without.
the record.
Sorry.
You need to amend the record.
Okay.
Because remember when the mother registered them over, you're only down as the informant.
Well, in this case, she was informed.
But that's what I'm saying. So she's the informant who put everything down. Now, if you're the father, then you can take the child, or you can take that and claim the names of the child, because you're the creators of the name. And you handed that over there. Now you just got to amend it and claim the names back to say, okay, this name belonged to my child. It didn't belong to you guys. I just gave it to you guys to keep it in keeping for now because I didn't know what was going on. Now I know what's going on. I'll take that back, thank you. And I'll look after my child, and I'm the trustee for my child. My child's the beneficiary, and I'm the trustee for my child. So I'm going to take my child's estate, and I'm going to be whatever my child needs for it.
Yeah.
My child says, I need this, I'm going to go and get
Yeah.
it.
I did. I mean, that was within my initial declaration, which was that, you know, my girls. I mean, I actually have 7 children, but my boys and girls, sons and daughters, are mine, and no one has a higher right or claim to them. And of course, they've acquiesced. So that's already there.
He just got his new book out.
Right. No, I tell you what I was going to ask actually, which was for a friend. She is on the doorstep of repossession, and I had to help her purchase her limited company, and now we're on the doorstep of repossession. And it's not a small sum of money. She got 6 acres and a couple of farmhouses and stuff, and they're coming for on the 16th of June or something like that. And I'm like, right, okay, I need to formulate a plan to.
Okay, so first of all, who's coming for her?
The
company name?
They've already gone. Name? Yeah, they've gone through the courts. Yeah, the company is whether it's, you know, the county court as a company, which it is, you know, the county council. So yeah, it's corporations.
Okay, so get in touch with find who the company. As soon as she gets a letter through, whatever it is, it'll be a company letter. It'll be a company letterhead basically. So find the company. Go on Companies House, look up the company, find out who the director is, and write to the director and ask the director, or tell the director that this is the limited company, and it's now in new ownership. If there's any contracts or whatever, could you please send over any records to us so we have a copy for our files? Yeah. Because the thing about it, the original contract, what was made, was written out to the implied company in all capitals. Okay, got it. So there was no status it was a child status, because there was no limited, there was no PLC, there was no LLP at the end of it. Yeah. So they wrote it out to a child, do you see, rather than the adult. They could have made the contract out with the adult. They could have told the woman, look, go and make yourself a limited company so we can do proper business as 2 companies, because we're a company and you're a company. But we're not going to tell you that. We're going to rob you. So we're going to keep you as a child, write your name as this, but no status at the end of it. Sorry.
No, that's
sorry, go on.
Go ahead, man.
Sorry. What I was saying is that I've done that and they still came in, took my property. And I've sent company letters out and that, and they just ignored it.
They will. Because the thing about it, as I said, it's like when did you get your company?
Just last year.
This is it. So now you're just about to do your confirmation statement and your filing.
There was last year, November.
Perfect. So now you've done all of that. That will start to settle. So you can go after them as the company, and then you can also go into the company accounts and set things off from the company, because the company can claim the property.
Right.
Do you see? It's like any company. If you went for a job and you was a manager at, say, like Tesco's or something, they say, okay, well done. You're now a company manager. Here's your company car. You're not paying for the car. The company's paying for the car. That's the same thing you can do in your company. You can go and get a house, and the company will pay for the house for you. You just got to set it off in the company.
Right.
You see,
and that's the thing I need to learn. Yeah.
No, but this is what I'm just looking. This is what I'm tapping into now, and just really understanding for myself. That's why I don't like taking too early, because I need to check this stuff out before myself before I even speak. So I'm just saying these are the things we can look at, because we've seen there was a lady and gentleman here earlier on. They might be on the call, Russ and Mina, but they was here earlier on, and we looked at my company file basically, and I showed them the different types of forms, like the mortgage forms and the different forms where you can stop dissolution and striking offs and all this kind of stuff. You see, and all the share capitals and all the confirmation statements attached to the share, the SH1 forms where you can transfer shares and issue shares and stuff like that. All of this stuff is in there for your company to do for you, because you are the adult of the child. So the adult can take care of the child. So the company is your estate. So when you look in your estate, which is your account number, you go in and you say, okay, cool. What's in my account? And you go into the account and you say, okay, what mess did the child leave for me to clear up, as children do? Now you are the adult. Now you got to clear up the mess what the child left. It's like basically it's the same alignment of like King William and King John. King William made a big mess, and King John said, no, I'm not paying that back. So the Pope said, we're excommunicating with you. So he said, no, don't do that. I'll leave the kingdom. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
King William left the mess. That's the child. King John didn't want to pay it, but if you don't pay it, he loses everything. So we've got to stand up and be a man and say, all right, I'll pay it. Now you've got your limited company account and all the documents in there, lawful documents, to go and set off everything that the child messed up.
And that's something I don't have a problem with. It's just finding out and knowing how.
But this is it. But you've got to, again, as I said, the company's house, they're a lawful company. They are public servants. If we want to ask any questions, if I want to ask any questions, I go straight to them. And I ask them the questions that I need to ask in my manner.
Yeah.
If I need to know, okay, how do I transfer the shares? Because I've looked into transferring the shares, the SH01 form. So how do I issue and transfer the shares? I've looked up that, okay, now you can transfer the shares to the director, and the director has that 100% share or whatever. Then you can go and order more shares and this and that and blah, blah, blah. It's a company. It's a headache of a work, man. That's why a company needs 3 people to run it. It can't run with one person, man. It can't. It's a big job. And they expect us to do all of that for ourselves. They was doing it for us, but they was robbing us.
I just know it.
So, sorry, as I saw this, you've got to a point where you've got these sort of key documents, having been through all the, thank you for going through it all for so many years. So you've now got these final documents, and you do X, Y, and Z with them, and you kind of wait for your confirmation statement, which is 18 months in, and when you get allotted another share. Am I right in thinking there's almost like you get everything into position, They take the 18 months to go and sort out all of your affairs and get everything into one place, all your information. And at that point there, we're thinking there's time to start stepping again. There's that sort of period of time where we have to wait for it all to catch up. Is that where we're kind of, well, where you're at the moment, Carl?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, the thing about it, I mean, as you say rightly there, totally. I mean, I think when you come forward as the adult, I think that's your birthing period. So because they've been doing everything for you as a child, because you was a child, they was looking after you, they was your guardian. But instead of them being the guardian, they've had you imprisoned and robbing you. But you come back as the adult and say, okay, cool. Now you are stepping in. Now they have to be the guardian. But what you're saying is completely correct.
Right. So we are. So I mean, at this point, we can kind of do what we're doing at the moment. I mean, I'm at the stage now where, after 5.5 weeks, as I say, I sorted out the enrolled deed poll this week. That's gone off. I did the trademark good few weeks ago, and I'm in possession of the other documents. So I kind of feel like at the moment I now have this 18-month period again to continue to study and grow and expand my knowledge in this, which is, you know, a steep old curve. It's a good curve. I really enjoy it. But there isn't really a lot at this stage, more else that we can do once we've got those positions, those documents moving into position.
Totally. Because the thing about it, all you're doing, you're just securing yourself away from every contract that has been made with your child.
Correcting your status.
There you go. When you bought your limited company, you turned into the adult. And everyone's afraid of that because they don't want to deal with the adult. They only want to deal with the child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're going to keep you as a child. So when you step out as the adult, you're saying, hold up, where's the contract? But there is none. Because because Companies House and the Queen recognizes there's only one.
It's a super slick way of doing. I watch the other people as well from time to time, your lawful rebellions and whatnot, and I see these kind of like the knowledge is deep. It's kind of bonded paperwork and all this stuff. I'm like, phenomenal. Totally. But then I kind of go, whoa, hang on a minute. That's one method, and it works and all that. But our method here is super slick.
I'm shutting you off. I'm cutting you off.
It's as simple as you want to make it, right? You can go deep, because your curiosity will take you there.
Totally.
Rightly so, because that's how our brains are working. That's why we're here. We're curious.
Totally.
So, yeah, I think this method, from any that I've even got, I nearly got sucked into a couple of others, you know, details and things. I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute.
Totally.
You write into.
That's it.
Because, you know, legal forms, right or wrong, right? You fill one out, you don't fill it out in black ink, name in the box, blah, blah, blah. They're going to send it back to you. It's not correct.
Totally. It's not
so
abiding by their rule and their legislation and their rule they're creating for the United Kingdom Limited.
They will think it's petty. Someone that you talk to, a friend that might not understand this, will think you're being petty. No, I'm doing exactly what exactly what they do to me.
Totally.
And I'm actually being honourable by it. It just feels a bit weird because it doesn't feel very natural because of how we were brought up by our bad parents.
You're slaying the fear.
Yeah, don't do it.
You're slaying the fear.
Yeah.
And you're standing in your truth, bro. I respect that fully. Because you're going forward and you're saying, look, this is what this is and this is what this is. You're writing, if the Queen or Companies House or HMRC, they can address me in this manner on the letter, so can you. If you can't, you're hiding something from me. And I don't really need you around me. Because if you're hiding something from me, I might do you something.
Yeah. You only got to look at what they do with the council tax to know that you're dealing with criminals.
But this is it. But the thing about it, again, because remember, the council is not part of the government. It's just another business. You see?
Yeah.
So every government department will drop every debt you've got. Student debt, HMRC tax debt, everything. As soon as you
HMRC one's amazing. I mean, I heard Frank talk about that, and like, you know, for 12 quid you can get that written off. I mean, I've never had an HMRC debt. That's not how I've ever operated.
No, totally not.
But for people that are up to their eyeballs in debt with the HMRC, my God, that knowledge there is like.
But what you just said there, who is up to debt? It's the child.
Yeah.
It's the child.
Yeah.
But Frank just stood up and said, you know what, I'm going to take responsibility for that child now.
Mm-hmm.
So they just wiped the debt and said, okay, you're on your own. But you can take, you're competent enough to be a man and be an adult, fine. Okay, go ahead. We're going to give you a 1% share that the Queen grants you every year. Because you're saying that you're alive, you're doing your confirmation statement. That's what the Cestui Que Vie Act 1666 was. We didn't go back to the church every year to do a confirmation statement to say that we were alive. That's why we presumed dead, lost at sea, because we didn't go back to the church to get a confirmation statement. That's why we're doing it now as an adult. We have to go back to Company's House every year to do a confirmation statement to state that we're alive. If we don't, our company gets dissolved and gets given back to the crown.
Jeez.
Do you see? So we have to be on top of it all the time. We have to be the living entity that's doing the confirmation statement to say that we're alive, because that's what the confirmation is. We're confirming that we're alive. That's it. And if you can't
do that, you're not really doing a very good job of, being an adult, a living man or woman.
There you go. Thank you.
It's a minor, man. I got people telling me about, what have I got to do with my declarant? I'm like, well, you have to get a person that's known you X, Y, Z and go here and do. And I say, well, by the way, this stuff that you're talking to me about now, these are the little reasons that people don't do this. It's a tiny little bit of effort.
Perfect.
It's tiny, and it's out your way. It's done. Once you've done, that's what being an adult is. Someone else was doing that for you before. Now you're doing something. That's what being an adult is. Congratulations. Don't moan about it. Feel liberated.
Totally. Take responsibility and liability for the actions you are doing for yourself. That's it. All the other companies know. All the companies will start chasing you quick because they know you're escaping. And they want to get everything off the child before the child escapes. It's like that little trap net. You know what I mean? Don't let him escape. Don't let him escape. Hold him in. And as soon as you've gone, that's it. Gone. You've gone.
Listen, man, I'm not going to lie. I'm weary about what's going to happen. I've just started doing it all. They know now. The letters are going back. Do you know what? I'm literally going to hold my breath for 2 years.
I've done it all the same.
Yeah, man, step into it and watch how it does. And you know what? If shit hits the fan, well, then I'll deal with that. Whatever.
Think about it. All you got to do is just return to sender the letters. That's it.
That's all. I don't read them. You said one thing.
That's all I do.
Don't open them. Why would you want to open a thing of fear?
There you go.
Bye-bye. It feels great. Bye.
Totally. Because then, again, as I said, Company's House and HMRC write to you in the correct manner. They write to your company. Do you see? So if they can do it and set a precedence for that, then every other company should follow suit. If they don't, they're playing a trick or they're playing a game or they're hiding something. Because they should be following. Remember, you have a contract with the Queen, which is your company and Company's House, England. So that's your contract. So you've got to keep going back every year, do your confirmation statement, which pay you £13, and £13 for a confirmation statement. How much does a birth certificate cost? £13. So you're just buying the same share document, that's all.
And that puts your executor on the door, which is your stalemate in the legal world.
Perfect. That's it. There's a lot. There's a lot. It's very small, as you say. But once you get that covered and you understand that whole the ergonomic of how it moves and works, it's just fascinating because you can take that and build whatever you want. And there's a lot of creative minds around. But that's what they don't want. They don't want a creative mind to come in, use their natural resources and build something more powerful than what they've got, because they can't think like a creative mind. They're trying to kill the creative. They take all the arts, the creative world, dance, music, drama. They take it out of schools. Sorry, someone was going to say something. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, this is the beauty of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to take control of what has been granted to me. What has been granted to all of us. That's the thing. So if one file share has been granted to me and that's whatever it is, and I've got to dig and go into that avenue to see, okay, what's going on here now? I'm going to do that because nobody can do anything. and I can't do anything, so I need to go and get some money or whatever. So what am I going to use? Because you want to force me into your legal world and do the things your way, when it's like, well, hold up, let me know how to do it then, and I'll happily do it.
Okay, so I've got a question for you, Carl.
Sure.
Yeah, just before you talked about obviously when you set up your limited company, and then they got to close all those bonds and guilds and stuff like that they've used and traded on you, and they're going to put it into this one corporation account number, which is your corporation number. Mm-hmm. Is that still what you're thinking?
I believe so, because as I said, I mean, like every document you've got now because every document you've had, your driving license, your passport, your birth certificate, your bank cards, everything is all in that name, that child legal name. If you just come along and just captured that legal name and the Queen with her seal and the registrar's stamp on it and giving you on one entire skin and class that document as your new company birth certificate and your name's on that birth certificate, then everything that baby owned or that child name owned, you now own an absolute title over it, because you've gone and claimed it. No one claimed it before.
Well, because the only reason why I asked that is because I'm obviously doing a bit of digging elsewhere.
Sure.
I found out a place, I don't know if you've done this kind of digging, but gmeiutility.org, and you can put in your national insurance number with dashes in between, and then you can see how many people have trading on that. That's so right. I was looking at mine, and I've got nearly 4,000 people trading on it. So I can imagine that's going to take a long time to close all those down.
Not necessarily, because the thing about all you're doing is your name. All they've got to do is just type in your name, and everything comes up. That's it. They've just got to allocate. Okay.
And then
the question was, before was about, if somebody's got the same name. That's the thing. That's where they're kind of like their sifting will probably come into it. I don't know. But I mean, again, Jessica, she's done a lot of that stuff what you just spoke about, looking at all these numbers and their different accounts and all of that. She's got all that locked down.
Yeah, because also the Treasury Direct, which comes up quite a lot in America. There was this other forum that were talking about Treasury Direct, and you can go on Treasury Direct on the website and put in your birth certificate number.
That's right.
And depending on when it was 1980 or before, you put in either E or EE, and it was quite curious actually, because it said it ended mine. I'm born in 1975. And mine ended, I think it was in 2005 or something, which was a bit random. Didn't really understand why. But yeah, so there's all these things that are going on. But I suppose the real question is that I've definitely done this, and so I've done the limited company, I've done the trademark, I've done the Enroll Depot. Yeah, we are, like Alex says, sitting there waiting for this to happen. You've obviously done it a lot longer.
Yeah.
So I was just questioning, when you submitted your dormant company records every year, that's all you've done so far?
That's it.
Yeah, but you're looking now to do these shares with the SH01 form? Yeah,
I'm looking to actually see what they're about and actually be able to issue them and transfer them.
Because I can see, because at the moment we've got 100% of shares as a director. That's what we put, and we put a pound in. So what you're suggesting with the text message or the message?
You see, we can't say a pound, because it doesn't say a pound. It says one share.
Yeah,
that could be one share of the whole earth what they're digging up, and that's your 1% annuity. Remember, there's 3 types of birth certificate. There's the short form birth certificate, which is a certificate of birth. Then there's the long form, which is the standard size, which is the certified copy of an entry. And then you've got the last one, which is the birth certificate for statutory purposes. And one of them statutory purposes is claiming a government annuity. I showed it to the guys earlier on. I mean, Sami, I think she might be on here, but she took a picture of the document. She was like, wow, she couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, one of the things that I actually did because I ordered I only have my original short form birth certificate, and then I ordered just one long form birth certificate, and it had a different number on.
Yes.
Now I was going to go to the registrar office and ask that question, but I ordered it literally from the registrar office where I was born, in the same place I was born.
Sure.
But when you put it on the Treasury Direct, it actually said the same thing.
Yeah.
It was almost like connected, which was really weird.
You see, because the thing about it, because you say you got your limited company now.
Yeah, I've got my limited company.
That's probably why now, because because it's connecting it to that.
Okay.
You see, I mean, I think every time we order a share, because it's already on the stock market. You see, because the natural resources come in, and they go into company's house, but they go straight onto the market. And then
it was like a ghost on the stock market, though, right? It was like a ghost until we almost went, blam, have some DNA.
Thank you.
You know, and I'm going to turn you from a ghost into reality. But we couldn't see the ghost until Hornsey came along with a sheet and threw it over it and goes, "Oi, I found this out." And we're like, Jesus Christ, okay, there it is. So we start tying it to the land, right?
So whoever's next to do the share allotment then, are we going to say that they're going to up the shares price?
So what you're about, sorry, to very briefly, because I wanted to say about the shares, just to be very blunt about this share document thing, I want to be real blunt. Let's say in your trust, there's £100 and you've got your £1 share, which is worth your £100. Over the years, you've gained 10 shares through doing 10 confirmation statements. Does that then, in theory, mean that if they were then shares, that each one of those shares would be worth, it's like a dilution of whatever is in that pot, they would then become, is that, they become shares? So I presume they become divisional units of whatever is within your resource pot.
Okay, so I was watching a little video earlier on about this. Now, what I kind of like got the grasp of, and I'll post it in the group so everybody can watch it, because I think it's really interesting and we've got to know about this. Right. What they say about the one share, remember, the one share could be like 1 million, but the standard original cutoff point would be like 100,000. So you can take that 100,000 and distribute that. Do you see? But because you're not, because you're not ordering, you're only ordering one.
Is this why you said about the 30 documents and joking about at various times?
There you go.
Because they might have a maximum value that can be allotted to a fucking.
There you go. I think you've got. I think everybody has a certain amount you can order. You can order, I think you might be able to order 100,000, but that's the cutoff point. Everybody's allowed to 100,000. Because remember, if a company is allowed to earn 125,000 before it pays tax,
oh,
you see,
don't tell me I'm gonna go online. These fucking. Sorry, I don't mean to swear.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right, this is how it went down. I ordered 2 in March. I spoke to you about it. They turned up without lines through. I don't know what that means, but I'm keeping them. Yeah. I've spoken to them and said, you have done something incorrect here. They've agreed a refund. I'm going to send back the ones that got lines through, because obviously once they recognise my company in 18 months, they're going to come back to me without lines through. So 2 I got a worth something. The other 10 can go back. It's a token, right? One day, if this goes right, I'm going to be sat there at 2 a.m. listening to something, and I'm going to go, right, I'm going to order 125,000 birth certificates, right? And someone's going to walk into the office and go, shit.
But you can order them through your limited company under and stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than
I almost want to do it with birth certificates.
Yeah, no, totally.
I'm going to take a picture of that. That's worth more than a stack of cash. You get me? I'll be like 50 cents. I'll be rolling around on it. Love it, mate. You got. It's almost worth doing it just to be epic, you know.
I mean, like these are the theories behind the thinking of it. Because I was watching a video earlier on about what is the allotment of share and how much is the allotment of share, and that's the thing. And that's why when I looked up that document earlier on and told you about the share, about the allotment of it and who the resources and stuff of the business, and then it's sent out to different entities. If England is got all the resources going into it, and that's like a gazillion, and you're getting 1% of that gazillion, then that 1% is a gazillion, or is 1% of a gazillion, because that's you're filing for that one share.
Yeah.
You see. So,
God,
but we've got to find out what's the maximum we can allot.
Yeah.
These are the kind of questions. These are the kind of questions what's going through my head. And thank you, Alex, for talking to me like this about it, because it allows me to think as well and to try and understand that whole procedure of what they're actually doing and how we go about being adults, looking after our estate.
Listen, this is the big thing that we come into this, we know that ultimately what's at the root of this. I won't say the words because they're gross. We're not talking about that. We're correcting our status. So if we're going to deal with something, we deal with it properly. So I might as well ask, everybody knows that if you believe in what's going on, then you have to believe in the trust. If you believe in the trust, then you've got to have questions about it. It's like when people die, right? People talk about death when they die. Death is a conversation for the living. This is a conversation for us to have. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm not about the money, but let's be real. To operate in this world and make a real difference, you have to operate within that system, because that's where everybody's sat. Totally. And to do that, to be able to maneuver on these type of levels. Now, this is what I was going to say to you. I thought there's 1,000 people in the group. Let's say 750 are active and some are a bit shilly or whatever. So let's say each one of those people has maybe got their family or some friends on board, maybe 5 people each. Let's say you've got about 10,000 people potentially there. Then let's chuck in another 100,000 doing it other ways, whatever. I don't think that the actual percentage of people doing this nationwide in the UK that are popping up on the little Queen checkerboard that I imagine, or another living person, I don't think there's a percentage-wise, I don't think there's many of us.
No,
I don't think it. I know it seems crazy, but I think
remember,
really
there's more than a majority of one now. So that's why the Queen had to leave Buckingham Palace and go back to the.
Sorry, there's more than a what? Sorry.
There's more than a majority of one.
Yes.
Now, so the Queen has to look after the people of the earth, what she gave her oath to the Vatican to do, and God. She said, I'm here to look after the people of the earth.
Get in your castle.
Right. So she's gone back to the castle and left the palace. That's why she can't go back to the palace, because if she does, she's serving 2 masters. She can't serve 2 masters.
Yes.
She has to serve one, and she's serving God. So she's looking after the people of the land. Now there's more of us coming back on the land. She has to serve us and grant us what was given to us.
What about the fact that there was people on that, like you've got like Boris Johnson, which has now been dissolved on Companies House.
Yes, but they're signed up into her system. We're not.
But they're Coots Bank and all that lot.
There you go. We're not. We're the men and women living on the earth, not wrapped up in their system or anything. Remember, Boris Johnson, it's like, if we look at the limited company group on WhatsApp, we've got like 147 people in that group. That means 147 people have got limited companies. We now have a parliament, if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Because remember, Boris Johnson is like me, and then Tony Blair is like you. So your limited company and my limited company is all coming together, and we're all posting up. Our Hornsey Wood Academy says Hornsey Wood Academy is the country, but Hornsey Wood Academy would be the limited company that you're holding up and I'm holding up with our limited companies. But we're not in there. We're just the owners of the limited company that's given over. That's what Boris Johnson is doing to the United Kingdom Limited. He's given his limited company over to United Kingdom Limited so it can be used as a pillar. And, all the others, we could do that if we wanted to and have our own country. Because you are your own country in your own right. But it's only until you get together that you can form a parliament that they do, that all of you can have. And that's basically all the directors of a board. So you've got all the directors of the board giving their say-so, giving their 1% share into the company. If you had 1%, I had 1%. If your 1% was worth $1 million and my 1% was worth $1 million, there's 2 million in our company already. If we had 100 people, limited companies, putting their 1 share in, we've got 100 million to start our company. Just see how it operates. That's how they operate in United Kingdom Limited as a company. That's why they're taking our natural resources and using us as children. We're allowed to earn £12,000 for the year when we go and get employed. What's happened to the other 113? They're using it to tack off the end of their tax, so they don't get taxed.
They do not want this conversation going on.
but it's happening.
It's the truth. The truth resonates. The problem is it vibrates, and you latch into it. I've never experienced it. Someone brought you to me My friend, we've been doing this for over 2 years. He goes off to an Alpha Male Assemble group, and he came back to me. He goes, "Alex, have a listen to this."
Yeah.
He said, "I think you'll like it." And I'll tell you what, Carl, we've spoken on WhatsApp, and you've sent me a few things backwards and forwards. Jessica, Tegan, absolute complete legend.
Yeah, totally.
And I mean, you know, I mean, I've been saturating myself in it, but I'm not going to lie. The more I know, the more I just realise, like, whoa, this is an onion. This is so deep.
Of course.
So
they're doing it. They're doing it. It's like it's laundromat. It's laundromat in itself. The film is laundromat in itself. United Kingdom is laundromat. But Companies House, England Limited, the Queen's Company, England Limited, which is Company House is in with England and Wales, that's the laundromat. Because United Kingdom Limited is signed and got their company from Companies House, the same as you, the same as me, the same as everybody on this call. We've all gone to Companies House, including United Kingdom Limited, and got their documents from the Queen to say they can perform in the legal world.
Makes every bit of sense. It's just you can't question. How do you question it? You can't question it. It resonates.
And then, if you want to challenge, then let's look at the language. Because why are you writing everything as acronyms? And because there's only two languages you can use. You can either use sign language or English. If you're going to use English, you have to be thorough with the English language and what you're using. You're using acronyms. Let's speak about that. Shall we start there, or do you want to see it as sign language, debased?
You've spoken about books before to support this, and I got the Chicago, I got the New Hearts, Oxford Styles Guide, and I've got the Watkins Dictionary of Magic coming. Although I will say that thing's taken some time to come.
Totally.
I'm telling you now, mate. That's been 6 weeks. It'll be here shortly. Totally. They don't like that one getting out there. So, is there anything else that you would say? Because I've got a feeling that this entire thing could sort of start crashing down to what's going on, all the other layers. And I just think that it's worth having things in hand because you are going to want to refer to them. So you've spoken about Watkins, you've spoken about New Arts, you've spoken about Chicago Styles Guide. Is there anything else that do you think it's worth getting the Black's Law Dictionary? I mean, that beats me.
Not necessarily, but you can, because you're just relating to the language they're using and finding the definitions and what interpretation.
It's more a personal rabbit hole of
finding. There you go.
Yeah, it's dealing with the legal.
One book I would say to make sure you read is The Law Merchant.
Yeah, you sent that
posted up in the group and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, and they're the only books I would say for now, for me anyway. Them 3 books did it for me. That's it.
Okay.
The Chicago Manual of Style, when Romley Stewart and Rohan Laurie, and I give them praise for that, and I'll always credit them for that. They was the one who's found this, the Chicago Manual of Style, 16th edition. And then Romley come on and he done a video and he pointed out the 17th edition and the exact same parts we're reading. They're now on page 666, which is like amazing. It's crazy, but yeah. So I give thanks for what
I got the 17th.
Yes, and you see what page it's on?
No, what page are we dealing with?
666.
Oh, shut up!
Go ahead. I bet
don't
you.
Even. I'll just put that down. I don't even need to check it.
Romley Stewart. When I got the 16th edition, because Romley Stewart and Rohan Laurie talked about it. Romley went and bought the 17th edition and he said, look at this. And he opened it up and he said, look at this. He said, bang. And they put all the information he found on page 666.
Which one was it on before?
It was on, 1 second, I'll tell you now.
But it was on a different page.
It's totally on a different page. The page it was on was 576.
Mate, they're so inverted, these people.
And it's section 11.147. But that will be on your 666.
Gotta tell you what, my eyesight as I get older.
Glossa, ASL. Under foreign languages, heading section American Sign Language, ASL. And then you read it about the glosses in ASL. The written language transcribed of a sign is called a gloss. Glosses are words, blah blah blah, etc., etc.
Right. So
if you look at section 11.149, It says finger spelling, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, look underneath where it says FS and look at the way they've written the names. You've got John in all capitals,
Yeah.
which is sign language. That's what they're saying finger spelling is. That's sign language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you've got John with a hyphen in between, all capitals. That's sign language because it's linking the words together, the letters together. Or
Yeah.
you've got John in all lowercase.
Yeah.
That's now you show me where's the English translation. It's not there.
So where it said so you've got the John in caps, you've got the John in lowercase, all hyphenated, and then you've got that one that you said it says FS hyphen all caps John.
Yeah. That FS just stands for finger spelling.
So what is that in finger spelling? Would they denote that they were doing finger spelling?
Yeah, because that's what I mean. I've put up this, put up the finger spelling chart so you can actually see what the letters are. So if I was to do a J, I stroke my forefinger where my thumb is and I do the J. And then the O would be my middle finger. I point to my middle finger. The H, you slide your hand across. And the N, you've got two fingers in your middle of your palm. That would spell John. That's finger spelling. So what they're doing, finger spelling is only written in capital letter words.
Wow.
You see, there's no lowercase letters in the sign language alphabet. They don't use lowercase letters. So everything you're reading is a sign.
Why do they show it in lowercase hyphenated?
Because, well, that's the way they would write a name, John. If they was writing like in a little book or whatever, I'm not too sure, but that's the way. Do you see? And now, going on top of that, if you look at David Wynn Miller, and you look at his book, because I've got his book as well, every word is written with hyphens in between, all in capital letters. He's writing in sign language. He just didn't tell everybody that he was writing in sign language. But he gave you a method to do, but he didn't tell you it was sign language. But when Romley Stewart and Rohan pointed this out, and I saw 1.49, I thought, damn, because Romley didn't point to 149. He's only pointed to 147. He just gives you the breakdown. But I'm saying look at 149 because that's the most important thing. Because now you're seeing how finger spelling. So if you get a name on an envelope with your name in all capital letters, they're using finger spelling to write your name.
If it's your name, if it's not an implied company, like no, it's your name.
It's your name to a son. No, it's your name. It's your name to an illiterate person.
Yes.
Because a illiterate person, they class as deaf and dumb or whatever. They class as illiterate and can't.
No, but what you're saying is somebody could write your name correctly in capital letters on an envelope, but they would have to let you know that they were using finger spelling.
Perfectly.
Yeah, so that would be, you know, or legalese, but let me know.
So you see, as you pointed out just there, where you said the FS hyphen.
Yes.
They would have to put FS hyphen before the name, rather than Mr. or Mrs.
Yeah.
They would have to put FS to say that this is finger spelling, then write your name. Because there's no other way you can write that name other than in the English language. And if you're writing it in the English language, it can only be an acronym. And an acronym in Newhart's rules, as you know, under abbreviations and symbols. Acronyms, contractions are known as symbols. Acronyms and contractions. Abbreviations are known as abbreviations, but the other two are known as symbols. So if you're writing your name as an acronym, it's known as a symbol.
Right.
That's why you go and trademark the design of your name, because it's a symbol.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, you're trademarking the design in upper and lower.
Thank you. You see, you're capturing the trademark because it's a design. It's a design. It's a graphic design.
Yeah.
That's all it is. When you understand, I know you got a mind there and you understand graphic design.
Every letter is a design.
Thank you. And you're
in that order, they create a name.
It creates a logo. It creates a logo, and it's your brand.
Sorry. Yes.
You've been building that brand throughout your life. You don't want to let it go. You want to claim it.
So this is the thing that just
Sorry, I'm just on a call. Let me call you back. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
So just so that if anybody in this group doubts for 1 second, hang on, little man. Sorry, you can have something. Yes, sorry. Give me 1 second. Anybody in this? Give me a second. I'll be with you. So, anyone that doubts in this group for 1 second about the depths and all this, that, and the other, something was just pointed out which ties in with everything else, which comes down to the roots of the true evil in this realm that we're in. They took this exact information that we are talking about right here, one of the key things, the Chicago Manual of Style, and the exact information that was in a certain location in 16, as people have started talking about this, they moved it to a page. And if you think that that's a coincidence, that that's 666, don't discuss anything with me, because I can tell you now, right, when you know about gematria and things like that, and the true depths of what the symbols and numbers and colours, man, hue, man, the colour of man, the colour of law, this here, to take that information that we're all discussing, exactly what we're, this kind of underpins us. This is, here we go, it's written here. And they put it on page 666.
I thank Romley Stewart for that, man.
I thank them. I thank these people as well, by the way, for reacting in that way.
Totally.
Putting that information, that was like when David Icke spoke about nanopalm, all this, that and the other in conjunction with certain things in the air. And everything got pulled, it highlighted, hang on a minute.
Yep.
And that's what that there has done. If you've doubted anything or thought, God, this is like some weird, maybe listen, the powers that be just put the information from this big fat book, the very few lines that we're interested in there, on page 666 in the latest edition. You are mad. That is confirmation to keep going. Stand in your truth. You are fighting forces here.
Totally, bro.
I'm telling you now, free your brothers and sisters.
Totally, man. Totally. That's what it's about.
Thank you, man.
No, thank you, man. This is what
I haven't looked through that book, man.
This is the conversation that I like to have. And it's nice that people can join in and hear the conversation, because we're only speaking passion and we're speaking truth. That's it.
That makes me tingle. You know, like all of these books are what I said. I have this vision where I get to this point where I can actually sit back for a minute in life and study what I want to study about this. And all the books will be there that I've ever wanted because I'm collecting them. And you just pulled it out of the shelf there. I hadn't bothered looking at it. And you take me to page 666 and say, look at this, brother. And I'm like, are you fucking busy? I'm sorry, guys. I do swear. It comes from a play. The intent is good. But I'm like, it deserves a swear word at a time.
Definitely.
I've got to stand in the truth. Right, I'm going to shut up and let other people talk.
No, cool, man. Thank you.
Carry on. Always a pleasure.
Blessing. Thank you very much. I'm glad everybody heard that, and I'm glad everybody was a part of that, because I'm sure you felt the same way as I were in that conversation, and the same way as Alex as well. I think everybody felt that, man. You know what I mean? You know what's going on. That's the thing.
Man, I'm buzzing. Oh, by the way, just so you know, Hornsey Wood, I'm also, just so you know who it is, I'm also Dark Card Limited, by the way.
Right.
You understand, man? There you go. You want to go musical? I'll take you back to 90s.
Nice. Now I know. Thank you.
That's all right, man.
Thank you.
Sorry, that one. Happy Saturday.
Brilliant blessing. It's always a surprise when that happens. lovely.
You know, I got you on all platforms, man.
I know, man. That's a blessing, man. You're big, man. Yeah. Seriously. I just feel loved. Do you know what I mean? It's not often that we can all share the love between each other, because that don't really happen. Do you know what I mean? But conversations like this, and we're supporting each other, that's the main kind of love that they don't want happening, because that builds an energy, and that builds
mad love.
You see, you feel the frequency though, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know the hairs on your neck can sometimes tingle up when you're in them kind of moments, man. And a lot of people know that as well. So it's just like, yeah, B, I understand that fully, man. Enough love, man.
We're going to do something truly incredible in this timeline. Let me tell you, many people don't know they go through what they call a great reset. They've happened before, and even then, people that went through it didn't even know they were going through it. We know we're going through it. Not only that, somehow, because we stepped in, we did something. We came across this. It wasn't a mistake.
No, not at all.
And Carl, there's a day that goes by that I don't think about the conversations that you've had with the deep people on this. And you said, look, you guys, you openly said it. You guys are creaming off the top. We don't charge. We're doing this for this is different, you know. And it's interesting what you said as well once before, which just amazed me. You want to talk about clarity? Is this? Do you know what? if I sold this for $5,000 a hit, it probably spread faster.
Totally.
Because they don't get it that something cannot cost something.
Totally.
If it doesn't cost something, it can't have value. That's why you're not here discussing these things, and you're watching God knows what on a Saturday night, you know.
The thing about it, the more focused you are, the more you'll understand it's free.
Yeah, it's not about that, is it? It's about opening your heart up. Look, Madonna said it.
We're here for a reason, man, at this time. I don't know why. We're all here for a reason at this time. We're all in this conversation for a reason at this time. This ain't going to happen again.
The Kabbals teach us. You remember Madonna, who, by the way, I absolutely understand what she is. But, you know, she says it. She says, you're frozen when your heart's not open.
Thank you.
There's numerous things we can point at, but you have to open that heart in a different way to what you've ever known. It's so different.
Totally. You
did this. Well done, man.
No, we got
mad love, you know.
We've all done it. I've been on the research for a long time, yes, but there was others before me, and there's others who's not here no more, which is rest in peace to them man's there. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we've got all of that kind of side of things. But now it's like, now we know that, yeah, we have to take the responsibility. The beautiful thing about this, if we can show our children that they have to start taking responsibility in what they're worth and seeing that for themselves as well, then I think things will start evening out and start flattening out. Because if we know that, yeah, we want to be like the neighbors, at least then we'll have our own estate to be like the neighbors if we wanted to. Do you know what I mean? But we're not given that. We're not given that opportunity. Now, hopefully, this opens the door to give us that opportunity to do that. That's all I can really say. And I thank everybody for trusting in what I'm doing in my own journey and, you know, following my own path in a certain sense. And people just seeing what I'm doing and thinking, yeah, all right, cool. Because it is doing things. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I'm doing it. Don't get me wrong. I don't know why. And I don't know, as they say, you should be charging. No, I don't know why. You know, it's given to me from source. So wherever, I don't know. But I'm only the speaker. I observe. I don't like what I see. So I have to speak. And that's it. That's all I'm here to do. You know, sometimes people could come around and see me. Like today, a couple of people came around and saw me. You know, I'm not going to really put my face out there too much, but if you want to come and see me, that's up to you. Not a problem. Just come and hook me up, man. But yeah, I don't know what to say, really. I don't know what to say, you know. Anybody want to talk?
Yeah. Getting to the trademark. Sure. Okay. Right. I've got 2 limited companies and only one of them has a trademark. Mm-hmm. Now, it's my first name and my middle name and my last name.
Okay.
That has the trademark.
Right.
Now, when people, and then I've got my other, just the first name and the last name as limited companies, yeah? Mm-hmm. So when somebody's writing to me now and I'm telling them this name's trademarked, is it okay that I leave that middle name out? Because I don't have a trademark for the first and surname.
The thing about it is, you see, it's not a problem, but you're creating a bigger problem for yourself.
Okay.
Because really and truly, you only want to be owning one name. That's it. That you don't forget about the other name. Because if anybody wants to write to you in the incorrect manner, that's their mistake and they have to correct it. And the Royal Courts of Justice would tell you that.
Okay.
Because as I said, I done my depot 4 times. It took me nearly a year rather than 10 weeks. And Jessica would tell you that, because I was asking her, look, can you print out this for me? And can you fill out that for me or whatever? And she was sending it through the post to me. So so if they're telling me that if there's an error on the form, it can't be accepted. So if there's an error on the form, what they're sending you, and it doesn't look exactly the same way that Companies House and HMRC addressed your company and you as the director then nothing to do with you.
Okay, great. So when my new filing comes in, I can forget about the first and second name, as everybody knows, the first and surname, as everyone knows me as, and just make them want to do the whole name.
The thing about it, you've got to decide what name you want.
Yeah.
What name you want?
Okay.
What name do you want?
Well, the one with the trademark on.
Yeah. So what is that? Is that the free names or is that two?
Yeah.
That's the free names.
Yeah.
Is that the name on your birth certificate?
Yeah.
So what do you want the other name for?
That's it. Okay, because I just got a bloody parking ticket with my first and last name.
Yeah.
So I'm just writing to them. Do they know? Do they have a contract?
There you go.
You
can do. If that's the limited company.
Yeah. Well, they both.
But the thing about it, you see, this is what we get caught up in sometimes, because if you said you got a parking ticket, yeah. Now, what's the name on the parking ticket? Is it the limited company name?
No.
Right. So what are you doing?
Okay. Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
What you can do, what I do, I write my full name on the back, right? And the thing about it, I just put my full name and address on the back, uppercase and lowercase, and I said I sold the car or the bike to this individual on this date, and I backdate it and just say, look, the car was sold. How are they going to come after the man or woman?
Yeah, but it's hire purchase.
Huh?
Mine's
hire purchase.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, you see, this is the thing with them kind of things. I don't see. Again, this is going back legal, because it's not your company. That's, you see, if you see your company, you could get a company car.
Yeah.
So what do you want a hire car for?
Oh, it's disabled one.
No, but you can get a company car. Your limited company will provide a car for you.
Okay.
Go and see your business team. That's what the business team's for. When you go to open up a bank account, right, for your private limited company, you're going to open up a business account. So you will get a business team, and the business team will sort things out for you. They will say, right, what do you need? And say, right, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. And they will sort it out for you. But you have to go and set up a team. Remember, you're the director. So you've got to get a team together. You're the management. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're the management. The management is the trustee. The directors, and then you've got the shareholders. The shareholders is the beneficiary. The directors are the directors that run the company. And then you've got the management. The management would be the trustee to get whoever they want to get to go and do whatever they want to get them to do. And that's how we've got to operate. You see. But you've got to it's I would just say, you see, it's hard because we know this information and we know we can fight it, but we're fighting it with the wrong individual. You see, because you're higher. If the car's the higher purchase,
yeah.
What's the higher name out to? The same as the implied name.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. So you can pick up the hire company and sue the hire company for doing a dodgy deal with you.
Okay.
And writing your name down as an acronym.
Okay.
Do you see? So they got to pick up the bill because they lied to you in the first place. You see how you can take it right back to the root? Because everybody is going to write your name down as capital letters, because only capital letter implied company names can be used to do the business they can do, because they're all corrupt and they're all shell companies within shell companies trying to take money off you. That's all it is. So the hire company was the corrupt one in the first place. So they should pick up the bill. And you can say that to the hire company. You say, hold up a minute, the contract you gave me, who did you give it to? Because I really can't understand the way you wrote the name, because it's an acronym. Can you explain the acronym, please? Do you see? They'll probably come and get the car off you. Say, right, contract's over. We'll pay the bills. Don't worry about it. See you later.
Yeah.
Because they know you're on their case. But it's up to you if you want to stay in there and do that. It's up to you if you want to keep on to the car. It's up to you. So you got to take on that responsibility as an adult and say, you know what? If I do this, I'm going to sign it off. You see? Or I'm going to pay it or whatever. Because now you're taking responsibility. Because if that was your own limited company, your limited company would take care of it for you. That's it. but we've just got to know how to operate the company.
That's it. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, that's how I can answer it, honestly, myself.
That's all right. No, I'll just send them the letter because both names are in limited companies.
This is it.
That's it. End of.
That's it. Just ask them if they have a contract with the limited company. Full stop.
Okay, and thank you, my darling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Carl. You know, you spoke before that I remember one evening you nearly gave me like anxiety for about a week. I honestly, mate, I'm so deep in it, and I stumbled across ones. I went through them random the first time. I've been through them in sequence since, but I came across one that you said, look, I'll apologise to you all now in advance, but I got to tell you straight up, I go down there and they say sign a confidentiality agreement and here's your card and you know blah blah blah. I'm gone. Yeah. I'm sorry in advance and you know blessings and all that. I'm like I got my mate who's a tech guy, right? He's a badass coder. I was like, right, G, I need you to scrape this entire YouTube thing. I need every single thing downloaded and put onto, right? And I went out and I fucking got one of these SanDisk PowerPoints, right? Super high speed. Fucking you live on here, mate, and that's getting copied onto a spinny drive too. And a lot of right. And I'm like, right, okay, we got it. That's good. That's sound. But
bro, I'm never gonna leave you, bro. I'm never gonna leave you.
Man, I got you. You ain't going nowhere.
I'm never gonna leave you, bro. I'm never gonna leave you, bro.
Joking aside, with how you've been going on this, right? You've been on you've been on this journey, and you've been doing it, and you know your depth and weight of knowledge is immense. But you are going to be getting towards a point soon where you're going to start drilling into this Dropbox. This 17's going to expand and open up, and you're going to go into it and everything. At what point are you going to be in a position to start doing that? Because obviously you're way past 18 months.
Yeah, no. I'm already at that point.
So what you were holding for the Enrolled Deep poll, right?
I've already got that now.
So what are you waiting for? What have we got left?
The thing about it, what I was waiting for is you.
Sweet as a nut. All right, I'm here.
What I was waiting for is all of you lot, because the thing about it, I never had no one to discuss this with. Okay. So now you're here. Now I can have a good conversation and discussion.
We got Parliament. You said it earlier. We got Parliament.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is figuring, because it's only me and Jessica had a conversation. I think it was early in the year anyway, and the conversation was around, well, hold up a minute. I've been getting shares. I'm allocating shares for 7 years, but I don't even know where they are. And that's what dawned on me, and I was like, "Fuck, where are they?" And it was like, it's in an account. It must be an account somewhere because I've got 7 shares. I don't know where it is. And then that's when it intrigued me. And then I had a conversation with Jessica. I was like, wow. And then that's where the whole conversation started, only a couple of months ago. So for 7 years, I hadn't known about this.
Yeah.
It's only now I've just recently, because I've got people to talk to. If I've got people to talk to, it makes me think, it helps me think too. And I can think more outside the box.
So let me ask you this then. You've got your right hand, you've got your left hand, you've got your group around you. You're very, very clued up. What are you what could someone bring to the table? I.e., like I went to see a talk the other weekend. Honestly, the Matt stuff connected. It was this people's lawyer bloke, David Adelman, whatever. Someone got me a ticket, and the amount of like legal, lawful stuff he was talking about that interlinked was just uncanny. So, what could you use at the table? What person would turn up for you that you would be able to turn around and kind of go, I've wanted to talk to you? Would it be like a registrar or something like that? Or
you yourself is perfect at the moment, because you're allowing me to think of the questions as well that I want to ask the people I want to go and talk to, like Companies House. Next month, I've got to go and do my filing. So when I go and do my filing, every year I usually call them up and I say, look, can you just go through with me, blah, 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 whatever. And now I want to have a discussion with them about the shares and stuff and what was granted and how big is the allotment and this. That's why I'm doing a bit of research now on that kind of stuff, looking at certain things, because you've got
the right questions when you sit down in front of the person.
Because they're the public servant.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, look, I need some help here. I'm just looking for some help. What do I do with my company? Because I've got a company. I've turned into an adult. I've got a company now. Now I need to know how to actually function this company. What have I got in my company? Because there's an account there, because I've been allotting myself shares every year, but I don't even know what's in there. So how am I meant to get to that, and blah, blah, blah. I know I've researched the SH01 form and etc. and other forms and stuff. So it's like, well, okay. Again, as I said, it's so brand new to me. This is why I try not to discuss too much when I find something out brand new, because it allows everybody to go, oh yeah, there's something there, and then everybody dives in on it, and it's like, well,
absolutely.
I don't. If you want to dive on in it, please dive on in it, but just look at it. Just look what's there, and let's look and see what's there. And okay, how does that operate, and what's that about? And okay, there's the mortgage forms. What's these mortgage forms? What's the headings of them? And just instigate and just look and browse. Let's get as much information as we can, so we can question them in the right manner. Remember, if you're working in a building and you're doing that job every day for the 10 years, you're going to be indoctrinated of the language of that company. So when you go home, you're not going to kind of like speak, you're still going to speak in the language of the company, but you're not, because you're going to be at home. But every day you go in. Now, if a customer comes in and starts speaking to you in the same language, now you understand their language. It's just, what I'm trying to get at is like when Jessica in 119, about when she told the story about the custodian,
where they turned around and said that I'm the owner of the company.
Thank you. But the CPR officer noted, listen to the language she used. She used the word custodian. We wouldn't use that as general language.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. If you're in that environment and they're speaking like that, you can pick up on words that they're using, because that's their environment they're around every day. That's their clues they're giving us. They're using their language. If we tap into their language, like I just tapped into the one word custodian. So if we look at the bottom of our birth certificate, it says we're in the custody of the register. If you take yourself out as the adult, out of the incumbency of the Office of United Kingdom, you're not a custodian anymore. So it's the little bits of language that is good when we're talking to these guys in a certain sense, but we've got to talk to them in the right language, and we've got to talk to them where I am needing help, because I don't know what I'm doing. I need some guidance. That's what they're the guardians. So I need to go to the guardians and get some guidance. If my mum gave my information over when I was a baby, and she gave it over to the government to look after and to take me into care, they imprisoned me. But now I'm an adult, they have to guide me, because they're my guardian. Because I don't know what I'm doing. You see?
Yeah.
I know how to take control of what I've got. Now I've got it, because I've stopped everybody from even coming towards me. Nobody can approach me now. Nobody. As I said, my sister is the trustee for me when I ride my bike. My bike is registered to my sister. So I'm the beneficiary riding the bike. She's the trustee. If I go in the bus lane, she gets the ticket. She's got to pay the ticket. So I say to her, right, send a ticket to me, because I'm the beneficiary. She sends the ticket to me. I write my full name, my full address, everything on the back. And I say the bike was sold to me in 6 months ago. I am the owner. And I write my full name, uppercase, lowercase, the waves on my depot, and I send it back. I ain't heard nothing back since. I've had 4. And I had none back. Because they know they can't write to me. Because they know they're doing a company. See, my sister was the trustee. They write to her with her name in capitals. You see, she's in a limited company. She's one of theirs. I'm not one of theirs. She's one of theirs. I stepped out. Now she's the trustee for me to act in there while I'm riding my bike. And now I've taken back the limited company, I can now act as a trustee for my own limited company, because my limited company is the beneficiary. I'm the trustee for my own beneficiary. You see?
Yeah.
Because if your limited company is the beneficiary, then the trademark then becomes the director, which is just the captain of the ship. But then you are the trustee listening to the director on what the director is telling the trustee to do. So you're the living entity that can run around and do that. The director can't, because the director can't leave its seat. That's why you never hear from the director.
Yeah.
You see, you'll always hear from the secretary.
When you answered a question the other day when I was listening to something, actually, just to reiterate on that, I haven't actually written to any of the CEOs. I'm going to be dealing basically with British Gas and the council. They're going to be the people I'm going to be dealing with. And, well, they're going to be trying to deal with my little name there. So, you said when you write to these people, my intention will be to go on and look up on Companies House and CEOs, and it's going to be John Henry Doe. I'm going to go, hello, John Henry Doe. I've recently taken over the company. I'm just updating the files. Can you let me know if I've got any contracts with you? Blah 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 blah. And then the bit I had the question about was how you sign it. Now, am I right in thinking that you can just literally put the director?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to put no names, nothing. You can do it all nice letterheaded paper and all make it as fancy as you want or whatever. But you don't have to put your name. You just put the director. If they want to know who that is, they can go and have a look on the house, right?
Perfect.
So that's the way we write to them. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Because remember, the most important thing what you're showing them is that you're writing to them in the name that they're writing to. But you're just got a different status. You're saying Daddy's here now. That's it. Because limited is just.
No, and you know we know they try it in so many ways.
Sorry. Say that again. Sorry.
Sorry, someone else said something. What was said? Sorry.
No. I spoke over you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. What were we saying? Sorry. What's my pain?
Okay, sorry, I think Lorne
was going to say, sorry, yeah.
That's okay, don't worry. I know, I lost my train of thought. That lost my train of thought.
Mate, it happens. You know,
that's it's just deep, man. It's just deep. You know how it goes. You know what I mean? And because it's such an interesting conversation, we do go off track, but we still jump onto a nice positive point again.
Yeah, this is the nice thing.
I want you talking about jumping off track.
Hey Frank, how you doing, bro?
How you doing, bro? I'm sorry for butting in. I'm talking about jumping off track. I've been going down the route of the coroner. You know the way we've been looking at the coroner to get some documents signed off. Now, I have been talking to a coroner, and what he is saying to me is whoever issues the coroner's license is the one that I need to have my documents signed by.
Right. Okay.
Because what it is, a coroner can actually say, yes, he's dead or alive, but it has to be a body in a hospital. So when I said it to him, so if I want these documents signed to say that I'm actually alive and living, who would it go to? And he said the licensing office of the coroners.
Right. Okay. But also what I would suggest as well is when you do go and see the coroners, if your name is deceased, it would be on the records. So you can ask them to search the records for your name. And if it's not there, you can ask them for a printout of the records because it shows that you're not dead.
Right, so we can do that as well.
You see?
Lovely.
You're getting the fact. You're getting the fact. You're saying, look, here's the printout of the records. And mine, look, in the position of the alphabetical order of the names, this comes from the coroner. My name isn't the name you're saying is a dead entity isn't there. But the thing about it, you see, we're looking at legal a lot. So we're tying and attaching a dead entity to a name. Do you see? Whether that's the case or not, we are tying a dead entity to the name, which we don't really need to do. Because again, as you know, Frank, when you bought your company as well, I really like looking at Frank's door flag, you know, Frank's got a wicked door flag, man.
I tell you what, it's beautiful actually using that door plaque now, because people come to my door and they say, can I speak to Frank McElhernan, please? I point to it and go, there you go, walk in, and I close the door. Speak to him, there he is. And I close the door. And they'll walk away because they don't know what to do.
That's it.
Clue what to do.
That's it. Because you can open the door and say, yeah, hello, I'm John. Frank isn't around at the moment, I'm afraid. That's it. Yeah. You're the secretary. That's it. You're the only one in the company, so you can be anyone you want. You're the shapeshifter. You can be the director, you can be the secretary, you can be the janitor, you can be the chef, you can be everything. So they're just chasing a ghost. That's all it is. They're chasing a ghost. So now, again, what really the talks are about really going forward is really just finding out what the limited company can do for us, and what can it provide for us. It can provide us a home, it can provide us car, it can provide us living expenses. You see, that's it. And the thing about it, because we're taking it, we are the creditor. We're crediting the United Kingdom Limited, or wherever we want to credit with our card. So the limited company would have a black card, or a card what's going to be able to say, okay, go here, you're the director, go and spend whatever. So your company will provide the card for you, so you can spend the company's account money, which is your account, because you're the owner, you're the beneficiary, you're the estate holder, basically. This is how I'm seeing things. That's all. I mean,
so how do we do that, Carl?
Well, that's what we're doing at the moment. That's with all the share documents. You see, so we, again, as I said, all your birth certificates and all these documents, what Alex was talking about earlier on, once you buy your name and you claim the name, you've claimed the name, because nobody's claimed the name. So there's all this stuff in the name, but nobody's come and claimed it. If you've been paying into a national insurance number, which has been a legal fiction, the name has been a legal fiction for all your life, and you've been paying this name all your life, and it's been a fiction. Nobody's come and claimed that name. If you don't go back,
those payments.
You see, now you've just bought the limited company and you've just claimed that name and everything what that name has attached to it, because you'll have your national insurance.
It's almost like super inversion in your benefit. You remember when you used to moan like anything about these taxes? God, I paid 12 grand tax last year, whatever. It's like, okay, don't worry about that. Turns out that wasn't a bad thing.
That's it.
It's almost like a pension pot.
Thank you very much. But if you don't stand up and go and claim it, it goes back to the Crown and you go and get nothing.
It will go to the coroner, who is the coroner.
Thank you very much. So now we stood up, we can become the living trustee, not the dead trustee entity. We become the living trustee, because we can be the trustee living. And we're the trustee for our limited company, who is the beneficiary, because my limited company is going to get the benefit of what I do for it. So if I go out and make whatever I make, putting my little school together or whatever, and I go and make, the limited company is going to get it. If I leave that limited company to whoever I choose to leave it to in my will, they carry on and get the benefit of what I left to them. I'm just a trustee, spending the credit, what God gave me to spend and create for what I'm here to do, my purpose, create on the earth for whoever I need to create for, and for the benefit of the others coming after. I might create something from the earth now, what I might not even know about. What I do now might come into fruition in 50 years' time when I'm gone. My YouTube videos might be, or with you guys, might be on there. That's just running. 10 years after I've gone.
That's right.
Mad.
Jesse, so what we're doing here now is just paving a pathway for the future of our young. Because if they can hear these conversations, what we're talking about, at least it's going to stem their imaginations.
There's one question I got for you, Lonzo.
How you doing, Lord? You good?
I hope you're all right, mate. I hope you're fucking laughing. I'm stuck in the forest, as usual, as you can all see.
As usual.
I've got a question. Right, when you file your trademark, there's a filing date and a publishing date. Which one do they refer to for the 2-month wait?
I'm not too sure on that. I mean, I'm still waiting for mine to come through. So, but I know. Jessica,
when it's published.
They send you a letter.
It's the publishing date. The publishing date.
The publishing date, right? Laughing because mine was the 22nd, because I sent you a text on it saying I wonder if they'll do it on a Sunday.
Perfect. Perfect.
They didn't.
Thanks to you.
So I'm thinking, is it the publishing date or the? Because if it's the filing date, then someone's interfered with mine.
No, the publisher will always come first.
So it's the publishing date,
Yeah,
the filing date
you're
when
the
you put it
publisher.
in.
You're the publisher, the copyright holder. Yeah.
Once it's
Publishing date.
published, that is.
Yeah, because when I'm loading up songs to whatever, the copyright.
Say that again, bro. Can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just thinking when I load up. It's the publisher, because the publisher would be the publishing and the copyright name and the publishing date. Yeah. So yeah, publishing would be the copyright. Thank you.
So it's 2 months after. 2 months after your published date, when it's been published, not when the publish is issued, because you go through the issuing process as well.
Of course.
Yeah, so someone has the ability to basically deny you it if they object to it within the first 3 months.
Totally.
And then after that period, you have to wait another 2 weeks for them to send you the certificate.
Yes.
Everything's backdated though. Everything gets backdated to when you applied, right?
Yeah, totally. To the original date.
Yeah.
I mean, I applied for my deed poll on the 29th of July, 21, and I only got it back a couple weeks ago. But it's still dated 29th of July, 21. You see?
Yeah, it's a 42-day process,
That's
through
it,
the
man.
courts.
It's crazy. But once it's done, it's done.
So just to interject here, when I did my deed poll, I got mine sent back to me, and they rejected it because I can't. They're telling me that I can't do upper and lower case.
You can.
So I've spoken to Jessica. She said that I have to hyphenate my first name and middle name.
That's right.
So does that mean I've got to change the details on my limited company as well?
No. You can put whatever you want on your limited company.
Okay.
You can put whatever you want on your limited company document. You can put me down as director.
Sorry, Hansi. Yeah, when you're actually doing your copyright, what you're actually claiming, you're claiming the name in all capital letters, and then you're claiming the name in all lowercase. Yeah. So you're not actually claiming your name of your first capital letter and then the rest is lowercase. No, that will be rejected. The only way they can accept it, if you put your first name and second name uppercase, and then you get two forms. You see, you get an uppercase, and then the other one will be all lowercase. So you're capturing it both. So when you write your name in English, the first letter is capital, and then the rest of it's lowercase. You don't do that when you're trademarking your name. All you're doing is capturing all the uppercase letters, all that full name, and then that name in the all lowercase without the capital J when you're doing it. So you do one name, all uppercase, and then on your second paragraph, you'll do the same name again, but in all lowercase.
Thing is, Frank, they can, if they want to, though, I'm correct in saying that they can do it. If they want to do it uppercase, lowercase for peace of mind, some people do it. Yeah. It's another £50, it's £220. Yeah. But to be honest, sorry, going back to what you're saying, you were kind of talking about the names, weren't you? But then when we start talking about trademarks, we enter the realm of design, don't we?
Yeah, but the thing about it, I don't want to drift too far off subject, because Jay was asking about the deed poll. Sorry, I know we were talking about a trademark, but let's just look at the deed poll section for a second. Sorry, Jay.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, that's okay. Of course, come back. So Jay, yeah. So as Jessica was saying, you just need to hyphenate the name.
All right.
Yeah, because what you can do, even though they sent it back to you, you can phone them up and ask them to amend it, or ask them over the phone what if the amendments. Because when Caroline done it, she done exactly the same thing as you. And I said to her, look, just give them a call and ask them if I put the hyphen between the two first names, would that be acceptable? And they just said, yeah, that's be acceptable, because you're changing the name. They can't accept the name how it is already. And see it's not changed. Remember, there's 3 names there. There's not 2 names. There's 3 names. You haven't joined the 2 together to make it 2.
Oh right. Okay.
You're still leaving it as 3.
Yeah.
You see, so you need to join the first two together, and they will tell you if you phone them up and ask them. But it's good to go armed with the information already. Yeah. To say, well, look, if I do a hyphen in between the two names, will that be okay? And they'll say, yeah. So you're telling them that.
All right. Cool. Well, just to let you know, Jessica advised perfectly with the enrolled depots for me and my girlfriend. What I will say to you now, just a pre-warning for anyone, is if you're doing an enrolled depot, don't get a banker's draft because they rejected my friend's one because the name wasn't on the check. Because for some reason the banker's draft is just from the bank, and it rejected it. So a postal order, that's what we did, and it didn't get rejected. Just so you know on that one. And also another thing to know: if you've got someone who's going to be your what do you call it, declarant, don't get it with the same surname. If you have, then they've got to do an affidavit.
Yeah.
To say that basically they're not related to you.
They're not related to
just so you know.
That's it.
I just wanted to put that out there to help anyone to stop making the mistakes. That's
totally. It's good. It's good because again, as I said, Jessica's a perfect one to speak to about that kind of stuff. And again, as I said, I had to do it 4 times, man. So there's no good listening to me. Do you know what I mean? In that certain respect. But yeah, no, it's brilliant what you're saying there. You know, because it does. The more information we can get, the better it is. Just keep the document clean. That's it. Sorry, go ahead.
So I was going to say, you're talking about the depot, the enrolled depot, aren't you?
Yeah.
Having literally just finished doing mine this week, and unlike you, I am not looking for it to take a year, man. I swear down, right? I printed this bad boy out about 5 weeks ago, and you know what life's like. Anyway, I started setting goals, and even still, it dragged out 5.5 weeks. And I thought I had everything signed and everything. Listen, like with everything, if you're doing something and doing it, you know, for yourself in this, read it 20 times, look at the detail, understand what they're asking. You'll start to be able to learn to read with detail quicker. But what I found with that form there, I thought I had it all done right. And then I read it, and it reads out, it talks about the exhibits that are to be shown. So you have Exhibit A, which is your deed poll, and you have Exhibit B, which is your proof of passport, okay? As you read it, it says that the court or whatever requires copies, and attached to them needs to be exhibit sheets. So when you read that really carefully about 98 times, you realise you've got to take your deed poll, there's your deed poll. You've got to photocopy your deed poll, there's your copy of your deed poll, right? There's your deed poll, your 2 sheets are done, right? There's your copy of your deed poll. That's a different thing. There's your sheet. It's called an exhibit sheet. You put on it exactly what they put on the instructions. It says, for example, blah, blah, blah. Put in the gap date, blah, blah. Get it stamped, get it dated by your brief.
Totally.
Attach your exhibit sheet to your copy. It says, this is a copy of Exhibit A over here. And then do the same with your passport copy. Exhibit sheets, they're already written. This is the detail is immense. I missed a massive part. I have to do it all again, you know, but I did it. You know, I could do it in 10 minutes now, but you've got to check that detail out. And if you learn that detail, you can then talk to other people about it.
Yes.
And that's what this is about.
And also, it's a different jurisdiction as well. That's the thing. So we're doing the forms differently. We have to do it lawfully. It's a completely different process because we are doing it from the beginning. We are doing the actual foundation of it. We are doing the first stuff.
Sorry. What dragged me to it, was he was talking about don't do a banker's thing, right? Yeah. Do you know what I did? I took it to the post office. I was all like, carrying it like an egg wrapped in tissue paper by that time, mate. It looks like it belongs in Pirates of the fucking Caribbean, mate. The edges all burnt and that. I've got scars on my head, all types of things, mate. Man's been walking on ghost ships and all type. Paid my fare. Here I am. Please can I post this? So I went in there and then I was just about to, got to put the £42.44, 44, 42, whatever it is. I'm surprised it went 66 Barry or £33, you know. Fucking, they're missing a trick there for one, aren't they? Because the funny thing about this, I don't have a depth of knowledge on postal mechanics. I'm aware there's something called postal mechanics. I'm aware it's static.
That's it.
But I walked up and I'd never bought a postal order before in my entire life. And you'd be surprised if you haven't bought one. You go up and they're like, okay, I'd like to buy it. And now I carry cash as much as possible because I'm not about a cashless society. So I'm there and I'm kind of making my choice of what to do. I thought, I'll pay cashless. And he goes, oh, it has to be cash. I said, can I pay on my card if I want to? He goes, no. When you buy a postal order, you have to pay cash. I give him the cash. He gave me back the postal order and I looked at it and it was like a check.
Yeah.
How I remember a check to be. You bought a check. That there is like, then I went to write the H and I messed up the M and had to do a little bit had to redesign the trademark a little, drop a bit of Roman styling in. I'm like, you know, it looked like a tattoo by the time I'd finished with it. So I read it in marker pen, suck it up, cash it in, man. What the fuck are you on about?
Sorry, Alex, did you write on your postal order? I didn't write on the postal order.
No, man, did you not read the instructions? No. They got to be paid up to HM8 something or other. Come on, man, it's 5 letters. It was an acronym.
No, the guy, the postal,
did he type
postmaster, it? My postmaster. I took the money. It cost £5.30 or something extra, which is that's a liberty, right? And don't forget that.
That's why you got to pay the postman,
yeah.
And then he handed it to me. I didn't put anything on it. He typed in HMCTS, whatever it is.
Oh, I hand wrote, man. Does that make a difference? Or if I spanned it? Don't tell me I spanned it by writing biro.
Right. And then I paper clipped it on the front and sent it off. And my friend has had his back twice because of the banker's draft. Mine and my girlfriend's went through straight away as far as we know. We're still waiting the 10 weeks.
He gave me blank.
These are the little things we need to know.
This is how serious.
These are the little things we need to know.
It's the detail, because you're sensitive to it now. Yeah. When someone goes, you got to pay cash for this, I'm like, is it? What is it? Is it some kind of certificate or something? Can I have a look at that there? This is like quite special. I almost want to, and it's like, it's quite special because it stands out different and it has that feel of mechanics about it. Like, no, this is how we deal with it on this system here. You're dealing with the gatekeepers here. You can be doing anything with this. If you want to go anonymous, you've got to pay your way.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I understand postal mechanics. I do. I really do. I've looked at that. Been studying for like 2 years on that, UPU and everything else. So yeah, but anyway, we're moving into the legal again, aren't we?
No, but it's all good because the thing about it, this is
knowledge.
Remember, even though we're not doing anything, we are still activated because we're still living. So we're still every time. Now, what Alex is doing there, what Loz is doing there, and what I'm doing here, we're still living. Our company's still happening. So that's still going on. So, I mean, like whatever we do, I don't know. It's just there's so much. But we're all in a safe position. That's all I can say. We are in a very safe position. We need the legal when we start trading, but we're learning how to trade. This is just me, just understanding my foundation. That's all. I take a bit of time. That's all. I like to analyze what I'm doing.
Yeah. So, Carl, I've got another question. Okay, so other people are doing secured party creditors agreements with themselves, so they're becoming the creditor of their debtor account.
Yeah.
Now, I understand as a limited company, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, do we need to do that as well, or?
Well, that's what you're doing as the limited company's director. You're becoming the secured party creditor for the company. So you're going out on behalf of the company as the trustee and saying, right, okay, I'm gonna go and do that. So you're crediting you're paying the credit for the company, whatever the company wants. So you are. But it's very hard to understand because I've been myself as well as been in so much legal. It's just trying to filter out the legal and just trying to adjust to what really we need and what we don't need. Yes, there's very little we need, but there is some we need. Again, as I said, when we looked at that document earlier on and pointed out with the capital letter, with the legal stuff on it, yes, there's these little things we've got to start looking at, because it is a completely foreign language to us. I fully don't understand it. So whatever they're doing, I wouldn't have a clue. So I'm just trying to stand on my ground and say, well, I can't understand what you guys are doing, so please don't drag me into it. And now my limited company just secures that, so they can't drag me into it unless I go and contract in there on my own account with my company. So for now, I just stay out of it, and I just put myself a couple of trademarks together, and Hornsey Wood is a trademark. So if I go and do some filming, and I invoice whoever, I just put Hornsey Wood is on the invoice, and then the bank account they're paying is my personal bank account. You see, even though it belongs to the implied company child, because I opened it then, it still belongs to my limited company, because I'm the only one who's got the card. You see, so I get to spend it, and they can't tax me because the trademark is just a trademark, and it's not earning enough to turn into a limited company to then pay tax. You see, so there's many ways. And again, I'm just doing laundromat basically. And it can be, it's legally done. You're allowed to do it. That's the thing. You're allowed to do it. So.
Well, it's because the only reason why I ask as well is because to become a secure party creditor as well, it enables you to then potentially tap into the UCC financing statement. So therefore, because you don't actually own anything as a legal entity, as yourself, as we all know.
Yeah.
And so therefore we can tap in, because they should be able to, they will look after us because of the trust they've got to look after us and look after us. So we can, so apparently, and again, I haven't done it, but other people have said they have done it. They've become a secure party creditor because they made that agreement, and then they've filed their UCC financing statement, and then everything they've put through their credit cards or debit cards, what they've done is they've claimed that back.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know your opinion on that.
Yeah, basically, it's like a tax rebate. It's like the 1099
Exactly.
the 1099 original discount. It's like that. That's all it is. You're just basically doing a tax rebate for a company. Because remember, everything you're spending is your credit. You're spending your own credit. But they've tricked us into, because we're the user. When Dean Clifford spoke about usufruct, we are the ones what are doing the usufruct, because we are using a name that we don't have claim to. So we're the ones creating usufruct at the moment, because we're using this without having claim to it. Now I have claim to it, and I can use it under the law. Now I get everything to use. But because I'm using it under usufruct, like they are as well, I only get little bits and pieces, and I get privileges and little benefits to use from it. That's all. You're still seen as the babe, the child and stuff.
Sure.
You see, it's really difficult.
I just feel like there's more. It's a big spider web, and there's loads of little things you can go off with. I don't want to go down rabbit holes, but I just want to share the information that we all have in this group, and just trying to progress to help each other. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure we just all want to live life as God intended, or the creator intended, just to live life and not have to worry about stuff.
Tend to the earth, and go and procreate. That's all what we are meant to do.
Exactly.
And then they created a system what developed our egos. That's it. It was them who created this system which allowed our egos to develop and say, oh yeah, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want this. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. That's all it is. And we grow out of that. We grow out of that. We do. We grow out of, oh, I want this, I want that. We grow into, I just want a peaceful life. That's it.
I think that's what we all want, really, to be fair. Left alone and, just live life and do what you want to do. If you want to fly a plane, fly a plane. That's perfectly so.
Perfect. But the beauty with that now is that how, if you know you've got this behind you and you've got your capital behind you, that gives you a brand new start to life. Because now you can go and build whatever you want to build for the dreams that you had or do have, and go and leave and build it. Even if you start building it and you don't see the finish of it, you know it was started. And those are going to benefit who you left it to, or whoever continues it. That's all it is. You've just come here to put your purpose down on the ground. We all have, to say, right, this is what we need to build and leave for the benefit of others who come after us. We all hear about the indigo children. We all hear about the crystal children. We all hear about all the children, what's coming through. So, and they're trying to stop the children coming through. Look what they're doing, man. They're trying to stop people having children, man. You know? And that's the thing. So, and if they started to vaccinate up everybody, and then them people go and start having children, they're going to be having vaccinated children. So them children are going to belong to those who created the vaccination. So they're even more deeper into the trap. Not just a birth certificate now. Not just a piece of paper. That's in their body. This is the matrix for truth. Because you've still got those in the cocoons when Neo was taken out and entered the real reality.
But to help release all this, I mean, we talk about lawful and legal, and then I think personally lawful is an affidavit. And so I think instead of sending notices to people, we send an affidavit and say, you rebut this, because if you don't rebut it, it's truth in law. So I feel like put into the HMRC or put into the people going, well, I'm a director of a limited company and I'm going to put an affidavit, and you have to line by line, point by point, rebut this. And if you don't, it's in law.
Yeah, you can do that, but they do that. It's like, as you said, with like, sorry. Yeah, again, if you rebut, the thing about it, when you go and buy your limited company, everything, it's like Frank explained to us with like the HMRC. You see, it's like when he had the debt of 27 whatever, when he bought his limited company, that debt went away.
£22,700.
Thank you.
Straight away.
Yeah, but Frank, in all fairness, I'm employed, so I've only just recently registered my limited company back in March, and so I've sent a letter to the HMRC saying, in so many words, very politely, saying, I've now reclaimed my my name. Please stop, taxing me, and also, can you send me a tax refund form in this name? Because it was very similar to somebody else I understood, but I haven't had anything back from the HMRC because I'm employed. Yeah. So I'm not sure if anyone else is trying to do that.
The thing about it, you see, what I'm saying to you is that you don't need to do anything. Everything's done for you. Because remember, they were looking after the child. When the adult came back, they cleaned up the child and let the adult be. That's it. You don't have
I'm still being taxed. That's what I'm trying to say.
But it's not you who's being taxed.
I know, it's my fiction.
It's the child. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're okay, so what you can do, so you can have, okay, so if your name was on the screen, you got Simon, if you were Simon James Lucas, for example.
Yeah.
Now, if Simon James Lucas was your birth name, now you captured that name and put that, and that had the national insurance number, yeah? Now, you could go and buy the company Simon Lucas, for example, and then now you can go and get the UTR number for Simon Lucas. You can go and give that to your employer, then you won't be taxed. But it's your employer who has to accept the UTR number for you not to be taxed.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, I think, because that would make you a contractor, wouldn't it?
But you're a contractor anyway.
Not an employed person.
No, but you're a contractor anyway, but you're a contractor called an employee. Because the contractor is just an implied company. It's still a company. So what's the difference? You're still employing a company. You're still employing a company that is a contractor, because all I do is going to give you my ideas. If I went into a contract, if I went as a contractor now, what I'm doing, I'm taking in my ideas. When I go in as an employee, I'm being used. So any idea I come out with is just them using me for my ideas, draining me of my intellectual property. So now they can claim it as theirs and belong and keep the copyright holder of my thoughts and my ideas. So when I pass away, my children get nothing, or my family get nothing, and they get everything. And that's all my ideas. That's my intellectual property. So now they don't want you signing over to them as a contractor because you get to keep your intellectual property ideas. It's like you licensing it to them now. There's a difference. You see?
No, I understand, but I just feel that if I was to, I have my limited company as my birth certificate name, and if I another, as you suggest in your Truth Talk videos, and set up another company as just Simon Lucas, whatever, without my middle names, limited, and then take that UTR number, which will be obviously way different to the national insurance number, and then give that to them. I'm not sure they'll accept it, but I don't know if anyone else has tried it in the group. So
I mean, I think somebody has tried it and they won't because of that reason. Because as you say, they don't want to take you on as a contractor. Because remember, if they take you on as an employee, right, they're paying you a national insurance. So you're only allowed to earn £12,000 before you start paying tax. Now, if you went in as a contractor, you would be allowed to earn £125,000 before paying tax, but they would have to still pay their own tax, so they wouldn't be able to earn no more. The reason why they have you as an employee is that how they take on your other 113 and add it on top of their 125. That gives them 230 whatever to earn tax free. So every employee they have in their company, they're adding 113,000 on top of their own 125,000 that they can get away with without paying tax. That company can. But if you go into a contractor, you take away that 113 that they're adding to their 125. So you take away your 113 and say, you know what, I'm not giving you my 113. I'm keeping my whole 125, so I can earn 125 and not pay tax, just not on 12,000, and you get the rest. No, sorry, that ain't happening. That's why they don't want to take you on as a contractor.
Sure. Yeah. So exactly. Oh well, that's why eventually I will leave them. But we all have to live, don't we?
That's it. But the thing about it, you don't have to leave them if you don't want to, because the thing, remember, with a legal name, remember, is just the Christian name and the surname put together. The middle name is it is immiscible, so it doesn't have to be there. So they can still recognize you as a legal name with your first name and your surname. So that's a different entity. Now, again, as I said, if you want to go and get that, because they're going to be hiring the name. But what's the status of that name? That's the thing. That's what they're worried about.
See, I went the route of going directly to HMRC and saying, well, look, I've taken ownership of my name now, and you need to stop taxing me, because I think in another Truth Talks or somebody else said, they're taking the money that you actually, as a corporation, limited company, should be earning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so therefore,
think about it. But remember, you're not earning anything. You won't ever earn anything. You will always credit, because it's your natural resources that you're crediting whoever with. Everything so you see, when you're going to work, they're just trying to take out of your company to pay you.
What equity? Yeah.
You see, they're taking out of your own equity to give you your wages.
No, you're right. Yeah.
So
right.
You are the creditor. So what we should be doing is just using our intellectual property and our intellectual ideas. Again, we're going into Aquarius, the age of the air, age of intellect and light and all that. So now that's coming all forward. That's all going to go and explode.
Well, it's also the time of revelations as well.
This is
it's all been revealed.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're coming out the sign of Capricorn. Pluto leaves Capricorn. It's just gone back retrograde into Capricorn. That's the earth sign. That means everything's dark and underground and hidden and blah, blah, blah. And it's just recently, it was in Aquarius, which was light and intellect and intelligent. That's why people started waking up. That's going to explode next year in March when Pluto goes back into Aquarius, the air sign, and goes forward. Now, when we look at that, we have to look back when the Jews were persecuted, and they said, you've got to stop I think it was to stop following the ram, or stop following the bull and go into the ram, or follow the ram. They got left behind. Now, in the Bible, if people believe in the Bible, Jesus was saying that follow the man carrying the pitcher, follow the man into the house carrying the pitcher of water. So he's saying, follow what's happening go into the sign of Aquarius with intelligence and intellect, because it's light. Don't stay in Capricorn where it's dark and deep and under the ground and hidden and dark and dirt. You see?
That's why Donald Trump kept saying, keep your eyes on the waters.
You see? This is the thing. There's lots of... Sorry, go on, Frank.
Yeah, sorry, Hornsey. I'm just saying, like, when Donald Trump kept coming out saying, keep your eyes on the waters. Yep. Waters, the currency.
Yep.
So it's ready. I think they're ready to switch it now with this. In England, what they're being pumped with is the rainbow, the unicorn.
Yeah.
And apparently it's going to be a rainbow currency in England.
But this goes back to the spiritual side of things again. Remember, it's the alchemist and them lot. I mean, I saw a post up, I think it was yesterday or earlier on today on Facebook, and somebody posted up about the rainbow spirit, something, and it talked exactly similar to what you just said there, Frank. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on. There's a big ascension happening. We can all feel it. We all know it's happening.
Well, we all know that the big companies has to dissolve after 70 years, and it's the 70-year anniversary of the Crown, and you have to dissolve.
Of course.
Companies have to dissolve after 70 years.
This is it. And why is that? Because I think Saturn has just changed. Saturn or Jupiter changed the sign as well, and that's their one. Every degree for going through a house of Saturn, I think, is 70 years.
Yeah, no, I think it's Jupiter.
Is it Jupiter? Jupiter 70 years.
Pluto.
Pluto is the last one out, and that's the last one to change the sign. That's why we're shifting into the age of Aquarius, because Pluto goes into Aquarius next year, March, and starts its 240-year first part of its first lap around the sun, basically, in Aquarius.
But it was funny that last week, the 22nd of March, or sorry, 22nd of May, last Saturday, which was actually 888 months of the birth of Israel, if you want to call it, 74 years. So you can see all this revelation is all carrying out.
But you see what's happening now? Everything is being pointed at universal law. It's all law, and it's the universal law. So if we're down here on Earth, we're just finding our footsteps in law on the Earth, because it's a universal law. The law in the universe is nothing different than the law down here. We've just got to stand in it.
That's why they're pushing universal credit.
There you go, man.
Everybody will be on a universal credit throughout the world.
Well, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what they're doing, you know. I'm just saying, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to take care of what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, if I start going out, it's like, okay, I've got my limited company now. So what my interest is in that, okay, so how does my company perform? Right, I'm going to start making songs. Now, I go and put that on, I register that to distribution or whatever, and I start getting the royalties. I'm going to claim 100% royalty. Now, who's going to come and tax me for it? No one. No one can come and tax me for it. If you guys went out and bought my songs or whatever, and I earned millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, no one could come and tax me for it. That's the power we now have. Because I'm crediting the world with my music, for example, or with my talks or whatever, or with my whatever, I'm crediting the world with that. You're sharing your knowledge with me, you're crediting the world with that. So that is credit. So we get paid for that. So if I get paid for that, they want to then say, okay, we got to tax you on that if you earn this. No, hold up, wait a minute. That can't happen. This is what Laundromat is. That's why I say that film's such a brilliant film to watch, because you really get to understand it, understanding what a company can do. And it can be done legally and allowed in there.
I've watched it 3 times now. I'm getting addicted to it.
You see, such a brilliant film. Such a brilliant film. And they brought it out when us lot started talking about all this shit. Sorry for the language. But it only came out in 2019, 2020, something like that. Late 2019. So and I had a discussion with Russ earlier on, he was here. And it's the same thing. They have to let us know what they're doing. They have to let us know what they're doing. They have to give us...
Through movies, through programs,
through everything.
Through everything.
So if we can see that, okay, corporations are taking over the world, we need to be one of them corporations. I'm just standing as the one who's looking after this corporation and this name and this estate. I know that this soul belongs in this body now because I've got lawful documentation to say that I can control this vessel. That's it. I'm a spirit in a vessel. I'm a speaker. I'm a listener. I'm an observer. That's it. I'm on the earth, all right. I like making music. I like doing whatever, but I'm just a vessel. That's it. And I'm a spirit in a vessel. I've taken lawful ownership of that vessel. No one can tell me what to do with this vessel. So whatever I choose to do from within this vessel, as the spirit, as the mind, as the brain, then I'm going to do that. They can't do nothing to me about that because I've been granted to do that. Because I've claimed it. And that's what you guys have done. You claimed it. No one can tell you nothing. Full stop. I don't know. This is just the way I think, you know. I mean, like, we've all had good upbringings. We're still here. We're still alive. Sorry for those who've passed. You see? Yeah. But yeah, so anybody want to talk or ask any questions or anything? Sorry, Marianne, you had your hand up, man. You probably hand up for you probably drop asleep by now, innit?
No, I'm still here, darling. I'm still here. I'm trying to sign into Amazon again to watch Laundromat. Sorry, I'm going to probably sound really stupid here.
No, not at
all. Orange, I'm just a bit confused. With the deed poll. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why are they getting the deed poll?
Because you're separating your name from every other name. Because your trademark is written in all capital letters with no limited at the end of it. And you're capturing that name, and you're capturing the name in all lowercase, as Frank said earlier on. You're capturing the 2 series. Then, because that's a trademark and you made it a trademark, you're making it a lawful document what can perform in the legal world, so it can act as your director. So you're not in your company. Now, your limited company is not your trademark. If you buy your limited company, you didn't buy your trademark by buying a limited company. So they can still come after you. All companies can still come after you with just using your name without the limited on the end of it, because you haven't got it as a trademark and it's a separate entity. But if you capture that, you've captured both. Now, when you go and do the deed poll, what you're doing, because all your names is being seen as 3 names, if you have 3 names, but your name, no matter what, part of your name will always be in capital letters, whether it's your surname or whether it's the full name, whether you write your first name as an initial, your name will always be in capitals because it's always the contract. So what you're doing, you're separating your name from the name that they're writing down into a living entity. Okay, remember, we're speaking the Queen's English. If you went and took an acronym document to the Queen and ask her to read that, she'll look at you funny. Because she knows you're bringing acronyms to her. It's her language. If I took a document like a deed poll and my name was written in uppercase and lowercase, she's going to read that in her own language. She's going to read this, Carl Michael Bright. That's it. She's going to read my name. She's not going to read my name as an acronym, because she's going to be thinking, well, what's the acronym? Whatever you showed me at? You see, you want to be recognized by the Queen. You're not recognized by the Queen as an acronym. She ain't seeing you. She ain't got time to figure out the acronym. So you're separating yourself from that. She already recognized you, first of all, when you go and buy the company from her company, because in the second box, you're writing your name in uppercase and lowercase, and only a living entity can go and do that. So you're being placed in England, not in United Kingdom. Then the depot just solidifies that even more, because what you're doing, you're putting a hyphen in between the name to create two names rather than three names, because everybody knows you and recognizes you with just three names, not two names. And that's including your middle name if you have one.
You've answered it. I tell you what it was, Walmsley. I had got it wrong.
Sorry.
No, thank you. Because my birth certificate was in, I'm just going to say it.
Know thyself. That's all you get, old target. That's all you get, old target. Keep it straight. It won't be too long. It won't be too long. What is it you're looking to do? You're going to do that one thing, get that one thing out of the way. If it works, then that's a successful result. What you can do is just get yourself a trademark. You are not getting the limited company at the moment, so you can only be implied. You're either going to implied or you're going to be expressed. There's only them two, that's it. Know thyself. That's all you get, old target. Keep it straight. It won't be too long.
If you're going to trademark a mark,